clobbering time! It's clobbering time! I just love clobbering time!
Yeah. And
Clobberonimo!
oh my goodness. Welcome, my friends. Greetings to you clobberers. And that too, sorry, I stepped all over your wee. I'm so sorry. Clobberers, clobberettes, clobberoberoids, whatever.
Clobberonimo!
Say that. We're here, my friends. We're back together. Clobbering Times, issue number 568 on YouTube, 1,268 overall, and of course it's Saturday night Star Trek number 117.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, what she said. I just so happy to see you all here tonight, everyone. I want to thank everybody for showing up. It is just this is what we live for here. Just hanging out with you all, talking some Trek. Cannot wait. It's so good to see all you wonderful faces here with us tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. Just want to, before we get started, welcome back to my wonderful first officer, the most amazing, beautiful, fantastic first officer in the fleet. And without further ado, let's give her the floor. Welcome back, number one.
Oh my goodness, I missed you all so much. Today I was a guest author at the Fort Fan Fest, which is a comic, horror, anime convention here. And I was just bragging up a storm about all of you. I just couldn't stop talking about how much I love Clubby and how much I love you all and what a special group of people we have here and that you are all Star Trek geniuses. So I'm so proud of you all. It is great to be here. Hail to the chat. Hail to the wrenches. I also want to give a shout out to the illustrator, this guy is so gifted. Ron Lamare. I was actually seated beside Ron Lamare today at the Fort Fan Fest, and he commissioned something really special for me for Nick Weiser. And so I got to get that out to Nick Weiser, and I got to get a gift out for Mark as well. But how incredible it was for me to sit beside Ron Lamare and watch him drawing all of these beautiful cartoons that he drew for, 2 generations of children, and of course heavy metal and all the crazy stuff he did. I also want to give a shout out to Corey Levon from Conlin Motorsports. Thank you so much for your support and for engaging people in talking about science fiction. You are a great science fiction fan. Thank you for buying my book and for talking a spell. You are just a wonderful human being. I also want to shout out to all of the folks that are on my Patreon. These are people who send me money every month so that I can try and get my book out there, and I can try and get the word out. And because of you, I got to do a book launch last week at the Northern Jubilee Auditorium. So I want to shout out to Larry, Tony Stark, Sean Carter, Cardinal Sin, Shoota, pew, pew. Chris Persia, Scuba Pete, Eric K. Kirby, Enigmatic Drop Bear, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with a C, Jilly Jill, our Jilly Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Kirk, Dadman Clan, Lord Thoth, Lady Thoth, and Sir Lanza Thoth. Without you, I can't make this happen. So thank you so much. I love you all. I'm so excited to be here for Saturday Night Star Trek. I am exhausted, but I am also giddy to be amongst the clobberers, the 735ers, for another session of this gloriousness. I love you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And that's it, boss.
Well done, as always. I'm just so happy to have you here. Thank you all who hung out with us last week, but everyone missed you. Everyone was here missing you. And so we had a good time, but it's never the same without you, So I'm just so happy to see you and all of the wonderful friends who are popping in. We're going to do our shout outs in just a moment, folks. But let's see here. I want to do some quick show notes. We'll start out with the shout outs, then we'll get down to beeswax. How about that?
Well, whenever you say getting down to the beeswax, you got to give the buzz, buzz, buzz. Everybody loves it, especially when it's got your Cajun accent.
I don't know what you mean.
I love it when you do the Cajun accent mixed with the bee. The buzz, buzz, buzz. It's great.
I don't. Whatever do you mean? Whatever do you mean? Whatever do you mean? So I'm still writing names as friends pop in because I like to do that.
We do.
That's why I like to stay on point. So we got everybody.
It's actually why it takes us a few minutes to get the show started too. Is because Clubby wants to make sure that he doesn't overlook anyone. So he actually does it. He kicks it old school, just like me. He takes out a piece of paper and a pencil and he writes down all of your names.
I don't have any pencils.
So we can call you out, call you and say, hey, well, a pen.
Thank you. Yeah, let me get this. Start doing show notes now, but I'm not going to do it in this kind of accent because that would aggravate to everybody, especially me, having to do it. So, even though I am down here in the bayou. All right, my good friends, show notes. Of course, as always, I should be hanging out with the great Mark D with a C, chief engineer, on his illustrious channel tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Sunday Night Geekery. I have a double feature on Clobbering Times this Monday evening, of course. The great J-Man will be joining me for an early show, as always. It's now officially the second Monday of every month because it's the B Monday of every month when we visit Earth B. Another trip to the wacky world of Bob Haney, wacky world of Bob Haney presentation. If this one doesn't drive you to the loony bin, the looniest comic writer of all time, the craziest world of ever, if this one doesn't drive you into the loony bin of comic books, Hall of Fame, I don't know what will. So I'm looking forward to that with my good buddy J-Man. And we just been having a ton of fun doing these Bob Haney visits. And of course, on his channel, 3 times a month, we're of course reviewing Legion of Superheroes from beginning from the beginning to its end in '89. And those are some basic show notes, and that's all we have for the show notes. How about I'm just checking, make sure if anyone else popped in there. How about we start out with our shout outs?
Boss, before we do that, we have a request from the chat for the old Canadian joke augmented just for the 735 Club. So here it is, folks. These are the Steves I know, I know. These are the Steves I know. These are the Steves I know, I know. These are the Steves I know.
Bada-beep, bada-bop, bada-boop. Love it.
Little kid humor, a little bad singing. It's not Dave's, it's Steve's, and I love you all very much. Good evening, all the Steves that I know. Love you all.
Yeah, good to see you all. I'm just glad the Steves are. Do we have that many Steves already, huh?
We do. We broke the Steve barrier, and I was informed by Fanti that I needed to unleash the Steves.
Let's start with our shout outs to our wrenches then now. The great Eric K, of course, the bronze wrencher, buddy.
Love you.
And he's having some nice dinner tonight, damn him.
Like, the guy is such a good cook, and he comes here, he makes these delicious meals, and then I'm just jelly, especially because I was at a con today, so all I had were like carny fries and a carny burger. So damn you, Eric K. No, I'm kidding. I love you.
Let's see here. Of course, the Vindicated Wrench of the North, Chris Persia. I think Chris said he had to run it. I hope you're still here right now, buddy. I know you said you had to run, but if not, either way, we love the great Chris Persia. Thank you, buddy.
And thank you for the show poster and always calling us out on your socials. You take that time every single week to do that for us. And we appreciate it more than you will ever know. And we love you. Thank you.
Yep, we do. You just do so much. And we appreciate you. Let's see here. Whether they're here or not, they get the shout out, of course, as you know. That's how it works. So the great D-Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron.
D-Bud!
And I think he is here tonight. The god of the wrenches himself, the great Lord Thoth. Shout out to you, sir, and your wonderful better half.
Yes.
Lady Thoth. Avon lives, and long live the Legion, buddy. And I hope that new little critter is doing well. Lance a lot. And of course, my partner in crime on Earth B, fellow Legionnaire reviewer extraordinaire, and the wrench without fear, J-Man, buddy. What a great pal you have been. Appreciate it.
J-Man.
Cannot wait for Monday night, buddy. Looking forward to it, man. We're going to make the world go insane with us.
Also, don't forget that J-Man is a horror author, and he has his own YouTube channel, and you should follow him and buy his books because he is a kind and sweet person who supports everyone in this community. So we should support him back.
Indeedishness. Hungry boy, master of the club only, artist, comic artist extraordinaire, and a cover artist on the wonderful book Science Fiction Tales by R.M. Briggs.
I have 2 posters with his gorgeous painting on it, flanking either side of my con table. And so HB greets me with his glorious gifts at the con table, and it is extraordinary. I doff my cap to the great artist.
Let's see here. Super wrench extraordinaire, Kal-El.
Real soup,
buddy. Maddie's daddy, the wrench from Mjolnir, wrench of wielder of Rome, Mjolnir, wrench Mjolnir, I should say. Thor from Vegas, and Fanti Outsidey. And we have with us tonight our great friend, the music meister himself, master of the Limerick, the great Max Redstone, the music
Maximum
meister.
Redstone.
Yes, indeed, master of the Trek Limerick. Good to see you, buddy. And of course, also with us tonight, we'll start our shout outs. Well, where am I? Okay. Start our shout outs with our wonderful communications officer. Jill is here with us tonight. Jilly. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Really appreciate you. She says, you're too kind, Jill. You didn't have to not to do that at all, but I appreciate you. You said, I love Saturday Night Star Trek for getting me to watch these episodes in order, which I haven't done since I watched Star Trek for the first time.
Oh,
it makes me so happy and excited every week. Well, I'm so happy to hear that, my dear. Thank you so much. We love you and we appreciate you, Jill, very much. Sean Carter says, let's go.
Sean Carter from Mars.
Sean, thank you for that. Oh, I did something wrong. I didn't. Hey, I didn't do anything wrong. Did I put anybody in timeout by accident? Because I hit something popped up there.
Are you giving people detention already?
I don't know. I hope I didn't. I'm seriously. I don't know if I did.
Oh no.
Did anybody get timed out by accident? If so, because something weird came up when I hit a button. I didn't mean for it to.
It's okay. The wrenches will straighten it out. We have wrenches who are like the biggest wrenches in the YouTube business, and they're
Well,
just here because they love us, so they'll help us.
I think we're good. Yeah. Everyone hearing us okay still out there? Good sound. I mean, I maybe hit something else. I hit an edit button or something at the top of my stupid. Well, we'll find out. Okay, we'll looks like. Let me make sure I got everybody. So now we can start.
Renrod thought he was here, but then he wasn't here. But then he thought he was here, but then he was here.
Thanks, Eric K. Appreciate you, buddy. At least somebody's being helpful, unlike number one who's giddy. No, I'm so happy you're here. We're so glad to have you back. I love you. All right, here we go. Shooter.
Okay.
Good to see you, buddy. Oh man, good to see you, buddy. I'm so glad you're here. Let's see here. Simply Steve, but you already got it. You got the Steves though covered.
I got all of my Steves. One fell swoop.
Swoop. Indeed. Let's see here. J Picasso. Hey there.
J Picasso, what a beautiful note that you sent. Not only for me, but for Clobby. You are a beautiful person, and we love you too. And we're so happy that you're here, and we're going to have so much fun tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of this community, for being a part of this channel and this show. You're the best.
Good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much. Enigmatic Dropberry D, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you.
That is the Erudite Bear. Watch that space, folks, because some really, really great reviews are going to be coming under that name. What a fantastic human being, a great part of this community. Lots of fun.
Yes, indeed. And I just want to say, because sometimes I forget, so I always like to stop myself when I finally think about it. And that is, of course, that anyone out there who is either lurking or listening on a download or a rewatch, however you want to call it. Thank you so much. I never thank you enough. I sometimes forget like an idiot, but I really do appreciate you. Thank you. And please, anyone who might consider, if you are listening or anything like that, if you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate it. And if you hit that like button, I would appreciate it. Yep. But hey, be honest. If you don't like it, don't hit that. Hit the dislike if you have to. That's cool. Be honest. But if you do, I appreciate it. Thank you. Lenrod. Hello.
Lenrod.
Brian Hepburn, buddy. All right.
Good evening, Brian.
Snail Messiah. What's up, Snail?
Hey, Snail.
All right, buddy. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Let's see. Matt G. Hey, Matt G. All right. I'm having ink issues and my pen's going on.
That's why you should use a pencil.
No, pencils for sissies.
What? Are you calling me a sissy? Shin kicks.
Well, yeah, you're a sissy, but you're a girl. All girls are sissies, and they're icky too. Girls are icky.
I also have germs.
Yeah, girls have cooties.
I have cooties. Sorry.
Yes, we're 12-year-olds around here. We like it.
We are.
But you know what? We also love the ladies because Lisa's here. Lisa. We love us some ladies.
Hi, gorgeous.
What is up with you, Lisa? I hope you are doing well, my dear, and we are glad to see you. Let's see here. I should be ready with a pen. Oh, MMM's here. Monsters Maniac Mexico.
Oh, so nice to see you. Hope you're feeling well. We miss you.
Yes, I hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope things are going well for you. Let's see here. Dadman walking in the Dadman clan.
Dadman
What is
clan.
up? What is up with your bad self, buddy? Captain James T. Skywalker. Claude Salling. Hey there.
Evening, Claude.
SP4H.
Evening, SP4H.
And they call him Scuba Pete. He's the king of Ramba Beach. When he plays at the maracas, he goes chick chicky boom, chick chicky boom.
With Leslie.
Copa Catania. I hope I said that right. Did I say it?
Hey,
Catania?
Copa. Nice
I
to
hope I
see
said
you.
that right. Catania. I think it is. Captain Infinity and beyond. Timicus Maximus, the master of time. It looks like, I got a message saying that Shooter, hang on a second, gifted. I can't see it on the other side, but I can see it here. Shooter gifted 10 Clobbering Times memberships.
Wow.
It says allow gifts.
That's just like him. I love that person. That person is so supportive of like the indie community, like makers, creators, channels. What an amazing person. Thank you, Shooter.
It says allow gifts on this channel. Choose whether others can gift you a Clobbering Times member 1 month publicly. That's for anyway. Can anyone accept those? I don't know why it's giving me that option. Is that anyone? If you're able to avail yourself of one of those memberships, please do. I don't know if it needs me to enable that or not. I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Thank you, Mark.
I can't see that.
Thank you to the great Mark D with the C, the chief engineer, who was here with us as well.
Good evening, Mark. Did you get my message on the walkie-talkie? Make sure you check the walkie-talkie, Mark. Yes, it's like we live in a Stand By Me movie or like an 80s Hollywood movie. Go check your walkie-talkie.
Hey, Lemon Pie.
Lemon Pie.
Good to see you. And Joseph Dredd.
Ooh, Joseph Dredd.
Bella Judge Dredd fan. Love me some Dredd. I am the law, you know. So, I know it's not Phyllis Stallone. Sorry about that. I know. I love Dredd and not Stallone for that. I mean, I love Stallone, but not as Dredd. Anyway, you know it. Okay, he got the message. Mark got the message.
Okay, good.
Well, we've been dilly-dallying long enough. Let's I guess we're gonna have to start knocking these episodes out sometime. It is more fun just calling out your names, to be perfectly honest. But you know, we're gonna have to review these episodes. They're not gonna review themselves, are they? And since they went to all that trouble to make them, we should at least review them, right?
Well, I'm not sure if they really went through a lot of trouble to make them, but that's foreshadowing. Ooh, you got a gift from Scuba Pete.
Thank you, Scuba Pete. Love
and
you guys.
Leslie's here.
And Leslie, love back at you, my friends. Thank you so much. And it's good to see you. Hey, Jeff Morris, good to see you. Welcome.
Evening, Jeff. Thank you, Scuba.
Good evening, Jeff. I hope you are doing well, my friend. And we appreciate everyone here who is here tonight. And we'll shout you out accordingly as you pop in. Okay, so we have 4 more scintillating episodes of Star Trek DS9. What we do, of course, just to recap, anyone who may be new to us, they're out there lingering out there, or stumbling across the video. Yes, we've embarked upon the impossible-seeming mission of reviewing all of a real Star Trek. Of course, that narrows it down to 1966 to 2005. Our wonderful first officer has calculated that it's 735 segments of real Trek, including the films in all 6 series. So therefore, she's coined the term 735 Club. So here we are, the 735 Club, reviewing real Star Trek only. Nothing after 05 counts as real Star Trek. Who has the right to say that? I say any fan has the right to say it. No one has to agree with it, but I say it. So what we do is we've been doing this since the beginning of January 2021, and here we are getting close to smack in the middle of 2023. We started with the original series, then the animated series, the original crew films, the Star Trek: The Next Generation, and we are now nearing the end of season 6 of Star Trek: Deep Space Nine.
Yep.
Now, we review 4 a week, unless it's like at the end of a season, there's only a couple left, odd number, but usually we do 4 a week when we're in the chunk of the season. So there are 4 episodes tonight. And what we will do is we have a source that we use as reference, even though we don't. Number one here doesn't really go from it as far as synopsis of an episode. And now I will show you a picture of that source, and I will turn the con over to the most wonderful first officer in the fleet, and she will take it from here. Number one, you have the con.
Thank you, Captain. Okay, so if you're joining us like this is a radio broadcast, you're not seeing the image that everyone in the chat is seeing. It's a scanned image of a book called Star Trek Deep Space Nine Companion. It's written by Terry J. Erdman and Paula M. Block. And as many of you know, I am a huge fan of Paula M. Block because she is cleaning up. She is single-handedly cleaning up Star Trek. And how she does it is by using original source material. So when she writes a book, she makes sure that she goes to the original sources of the information and she dispels myths, rumors, factoids that have been propagated and disseminated by fans. She gets the air clear. The problem is that Paula's books, when she is the chief author, they are perfect for podcasting. They're succinct. They give lots of information, lots of behind the scenes stuff, and lots of stuff that's never been revealed before. Unfortunately, her husband is writing primary chair on this particular publication. And wow, it's pretty long-winded, to the point where some of the so-called summaries are 18 full pages long. And I mean like a full sheet of paper, 18 pages long. So it doesn't suit the podcast. But it's very important for me to tell you that if you are looking for information on Star Trek, do not go to IMDb. It is a cesspool of just complete and utter shite. And the same for Memory Alpha, which is now polluted with the filth. And of course, Wikipedia, a wasteland. If you are looking for information on Star Trek Deep Space Nine and you want to make sure that it's true, please buy this beautiful book. But we can't use it on the podcast. So whenever we need a fact, we turn to someone in the 735 Club here, one of our clobberers that has the book on hand, and they will pull out that fact if we need it. But other than that, unfortunately, we have to rely on the very succinct summary provided by Wikipedia. Now, I know it stinks sometimes. It's not written well because it's user-generated, but we correct it and we just use it for a summary. And this is an organic show. It's a beautiful show. Clobby and I have both been watching Star Trek for over 45 years. And so we read this summary out. We hash it out between the two of us and we talk about what we love and what we hate. And, does it pass muster? And then we turn it over to the chat. And then something really incredible happens. The 735 Club, all these clobberers come together and they start talking about it. And we put their stuff up on the marquee. We put their grades up. We put their comments up. And so what ends up happening is we have a room full of Trekkies having a full conversation about every single episode in Star Trek, all 735. So it's pretty incredible. It's lots of fun. And if you're new, I hope you'll stick around because you're in for a treat. And I think that's about it, boss. What do you think?
No, that handles it. Of course, we'll say Zathras is here. What's up, Zathras?
Oh, well, if Zathras is here, you know what I got to say. Crap, crap, crap.
And I want to say, said Snail Messiah has a member chat, kind of free super chat thing. Yeah, I mean, I can't see it over here. I can't even find it on the other side. But thank you, Snail Messiah, for that, for being a member, of course. I'm trying to find it, and I don't see it on there. Not even seeing it on the other side, by the way. But we'll try to get it later. But thank you for that, Snail. Appreciate you. All right, everyone. So let's get started. And thank you again, Mark D, for that. Mark pointed it out for me as always. He's always got our back here. The chief engineer rules. All right. Thank you, Snail. I just couldn't see it for somehow. No, hello there, Sander.
Good evening, Sander.
Sander, let's see. A Hammerslag. Good to see you, Sander. I don't know if I've seen you here before. Maybe I have. With my memory, it's just, you can never tell. But it is good to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to Clobbering Times. Hey, the Comic Relief Crusader.
Good evening, fine sir.
What's up, sir? Hope you are well. Okay, let's see. All right. Are we ready to start with our first episode?
We're ready!
Okay, hey, Ray Steve, what is up, man? How are you, bud? I hope you are doing well, sir. It's good to see you. Welcome to Clobbering Times. Okay, all right, folks, here we go. I don't know how I'm going to do this, other than to just do it, right? I mean, okay, we're starting our first episode for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'll just show you. Well, there's a banner for it, and there's a banner. But do you really want a picture?
Oh no, folks. Oh no. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be a gooder. And remember, this is an organic show. I don't know what he's gonna show you. Oh, Cloppy, what have you done?
It's called Wrong's Dumber Than Dumbass Night Darth Dumbassy Dumbassy Stupid Ass Time Traveling Dumbassy Stupid Assy Crappy
God.
Shitty Ass Wrongs. Did I bias our review? Sorry. Hey, Victor Fontaine is here.
Vic's here.
What's up, Victor? What's our Victor, Victor? Roger. Good to see you, my friend, and I welcome you to our humble abode. And let me read that. He says, woohoo. We have finally made it to my introductory episode. Hail to Clobby, R.M. Briggs, and everyone here, Saturday Night Star Trek. Hail to you, my friend. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Vic.
I don't want to bias anybody's review.
Yeah, don't bias anyone's review.
No,
but...
look. If you love an episode, love it. You hate an episode, hate it. This is a free zone right here. I mean, nothing is sacred. It's just and you can see, I really have a lot of regard for this one. Listen to Cap's Infinity. You. Okay, so number one, let's get started on this magnificent masterpiece of an episode.
Oh boy. All right. Wrong's darker than death or night.
First of all, the worst title, a title so pretentious, it makes you want to. I can't talk about acts of violence on YouTube. Never mind.
Yeah, just don't do it. This is season 6, episode 17, and this is an international show. So if you're scratching your head saying, what the heck are you talking about, episode 17? That is because DS9 is infamous for having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and even 7 parters. And so sometimes they're continuations and sometimes they're multi-parters. And then when you add to it the whole streaming debacle, you might have the wrong number there. But fear not, because we also throw out the prod code, which is 541. This first aired on March 30th, 1998, and I've been watching it ever since, unfortunately for me. So now I'm going to stay copyright compliant by reading extemporaneously. That is correct, folks. I do not pre-read this schlock on Wikipedia. So I'm going to read it, and hopefully it'll work out. It might be rough. Saddle up, lock and load. On her late mother Maru's 60th birthday, Major Akira Nerys receives a transmission from Gul Dukat. He tells her that Maru was his lover for many years and had left her family to be with him. Major Kira obtained Station Commander Captain Sisko's permission to consult. Get ready for it, folks. The Bajoran Orb of Time to find out the truth.
Orb of Time, baby.
The orb sends her to the past, to a refugee center where her family once lived. There she befriends Maru using the name Luna Rawl. Luma and Maru are taken from the camp to become comfort women for Cardassian troops. The women are taken to the new space station Terok Nor, the future Deep Space Nine. There, despite her sadness, Maru is overwhelmed by the bounty of food and other comforts. She confesses to Nerys that she has what she has always dreamed of: good health, beautiful clothes, enough to eat, but at the cost of her family. Gul Dukat singles Maru out for special attention, and she eventually becomes Dukat's mistress. When Nerys confronts a guard and demands to see Maru, she is thrown out into the station's Bajoran ghetto. There, Halb, a member of the Bajoran resistance, asks her to help attack the Cardassians. The next time Nerys sees her mother, Maru praises Dukat, and it's too much for Nerys to bear. She angrily reminds Maru that Dukat is not only responsible for killing innocent Bajorans, but also for separating her from her family. Maru explains that Dukat has promised to provide her husband and children with food and medical supplies. Nerys accuses Maru of becoming a collaborator and storms out, hatching a plan with Hal to smuggle a bomb into Ducat's quarters. Her mother could be killed in the blast, but Nerys no longer cares. Pretending to have a change of heart, Nerys returns to Ducat's quarters to apologize to Maru, then secretly hides the bomb. She is preparing to leave when Maru receives a message from her husband, Tabin. Tabin. I think it's Tabin. He thanks his wife for what she has done, telling her that she has saved their lives. Nerys suddenly warns Ducat and Maru about the bomb, and they escape just before it detonates. Major Kira returns to the present, with the painful knowledge that Ducat's story is true, and that the line between a good person and a collaborator is not so clear. She actually says it. Good evening, Markler Seth. Nice to see you.
Markler Seth, hey there, welcome.
Okay, let's just be honest here. I could have used a lot more raspberries there, but I am going to hit pause on my notes because it's time for me to throw it over to the captain. Captain, what did you think of this giant bucket of shite known as Wrongs Darker Than Death or Night?
I'm not so sure I can be even mature about this one. I don't think I can pretend to be mature. I don't think I can pretend to. I'm having trouble putting out a coherent, what do you call it, sentence? About this episode. I either get really angry or just want to laugh. This might be the episode I don't know if there's an episode I hate more than this of this show.
It's pretty bad
because of every single. First of all, Starfleet. Let me see if I can try. I'm going to try. Okay. I really am going to try. Hey, Captain. I just found out that asshole Ducat called me up. We've known him for 4 years, and he's talking some shit about he was banging my mother. That sucks, right? Well, yeah, that sucks. What do you want me to do about it? So, well, I want to go find out. How about you use your pull with the whatchamadoodles down there on Bajor, and get them to let me use that orb of time. Remember the one with the tribbles? Yeah. Well, it's fine. The orb of time is fine with the tribble episode because it was lighthearted, silly, fun. That was a lovely, wonderful throwback, to old Trek. So who cares? But now, basically, let me go use this orb of time to go back in time on Turak Nor, or actually before it, on Bajor, then Turak Nor, to see if my mom was having an affair with Gul Dukat, who just now mentions this like 5 years later, 6 years later. 6, I guess, right? Sorry. Sure. No problem. But I have to clear that with Starfleet Command. No, Starfleet. I talked to Starfleet. They're fine with it. Starfleet has no problems with you, you former terrorist who hates Dukat, screwing around with time and the timeline. It's not a problem at all, Kira. Hey, while you're at it, stop. Hey, take a couple years back. Go take a look. I got some people I'd like to say hello to for me back in this. Just do whatever you want. Just bring the thing back, and it's fine. And Eric K has a point. He says, "Thank you for the super chat." Globby, since when were you ever mature? It was on a Tuesday in 1993, but it was an accident.
It was at 3:02.
Yeah. No, it was at 4:02. You're thinking something else. But and that wasn't too mature. All right, so yeah, you can take the time. You can take this time magic thingy, Orby, and go do whatever you want, Kira. We trust you. We have no problem. You won't screw with time at all, even though because it's not like this is an emotional issue for you or anything. In fact, while you're at it, why don't you just cut Ducat's throat and save us all a lot of trouble?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Don't really do that. Oh, I won't, Captain. He's going to be perfectly safe for me. I won't try to bomb or blow him up or anything. No, I won't try to kill my mother or anything. No. I believe you, Kira. Take this thing. Go have some fun. Hey, look, let us know what's going on. Just don't screw the timeline up or anything, and you're fine. Sure. Lawrence Kinski. I don't think I've seen you here before, Lawrence. Welcome to Clobbering Times. Clobberin's times. Clobberin's, I don't know what her name is anymore. I'm so worked up over this episode. But Lawrence, welcome. It's good to see you. So basically, yeah, this and let's see here. Let me see if anything else we have to say about it. Oh, I really love how this is such a brilliant episode. I mean, someone actually sat at a table and said, "Okay, let's go with this script. Let's shoot this sucker." It's like Ed Wood. You remember the movie Ed Wood? I love it when he says, let's shoot this sucker. Let's just shoot it. Let's go ahead. That looks good to me. Let's shoot it. Someone said, "Hey, what? Wait a minute. You're gonna say that she's gonna agree to go murder her own mother?"
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Now you're starting to sound like my notes.
She's gonna go murder her own mother. Sure, that's cool, right? That's all right. And then she goes and she wants to kill her. She wants to kill her mother, but then
it's insane.
Then she decides, I can't kill my mother. She can't take her mother out and let Ducat be killed. She was willing to. By the way, she was willing to kill Ducat and change time, but let her mother die with him. Then she decides to save both of them for some freaking reason. And then at the end, you know how she was when she's talking to Cisco, who's an idiot for letting her do it. She said she hates her mother again by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So she loved her mother for a second there to save her. Now she hates her again at the end of the. I can't. And I'm touching it will take me 3 hours to describe how much this episode makes me angry. Not just how stupid it is, the fact that some idiot actually let somebody film this garbage.
Yep.
Sorry. I cannot. Something this unbelievably moronic. Look, I can take screwed up stories or problems of various kinds in any story that don't make a lot of sense. This has got to be the stupidest thing. I look. I'm sorry, Beverly Crusher playing around with a friggin' ghost in her grandmother's house is nothing compared to this. That's just yuck and silly and dumb and stupid. This is like, sure, go screw with the time. It'll be fine. Cisco's an idiot. Everybody's an idiot. Your story is based on, what was that old thing? The idiot plot they used to talk about. Your story, if every character in your story has to act like a moron to have your story, then you shouldn't have the story. Roll Killy Chow.
Hey, Keely Chow.
I'm sorry about that, everybody. I apologize for the stupid rant. I mean, it made about as much. It made no sense. But then neither did the episode. So this episode and my dumb rant deserve each other. Okay, number one, go with your notes.
Okay, well, I'm really disappointed in Ira Stephen Bear and Hans Beimler. Yeah, I mean, this is next level suck. Like, the suck is so hard here. It's an Electrolux. It's so
uncomfortable. By the way, one other thing. It's uncomfortable to see her with her mom every single scene. I'm like, this is your mom. Sorry, go ahead. No, stop. Go ahead, sorry. And Bush Pan Down. Hey there.
Good night, or good evening, Bush Pan Down. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I think it's so weird that the writers decided to go in this direction. Ducat has been trying to be with Kira since the beginning, meaning they wrote it as Ducat would have sex. I'm sorry, I have to say that for the algorithm, with both mother and daughter. This is an unenjoyable excuse for science fiction. Ducat getting coded messages needs to be reported regardless of the nature of it. It's a security breach. So when Kira walks in and says, Ducat breached our security and did so in a highly technical way and was able to send this secret communique, but I didn't tell you about it because it was of a personal nature. And now I'm going to tell you about the personal nature. What? Who came up with this dialogue? Like, hello? Is there anybody in there? Knock, knock. Anyway, the orb of time. How lovely. The Bajorans can time travel at will through an orb. That's not problematic at all. No. Nobody's ever going to go back in time with the orb of time, right? To undo the genocide that has been done to their people? No, they wouldn't do that.
No, they wouldn't.
And what's worse is, I thought the wormhole aliens considered time irrelevant. and lived
Right.
without linear reality or linear time. Why send a time orb? Why did the wormhole aliens send a time orb to people who experienced a genocide, and yet nobody is using the orb to undo the genocide, and yet they're going back to see if Mama cheated on Papa? I
Ugh.
cannot believe it. Um,
Hey,
Kira
Princess Fiona's here, by the way.
Princess
Princess
Fiona!
Fiona! Good to see you, my dear.
Kira interferes with the timeline immediately, starting with the mugging, and she doesn't stop, including doing massive acts of terrorism, changing the timeline, all the different interactions. As a child, this has always bothered me. Everyone knows that I rewatch all 735 starting on January 1st at the beginning of every year. It's roughly 2 or 3 hours of Star Trek per day. Anyway, so as a child, Kira had blue eyes and then they turned brown. Who cast this kid? Like that has always irked me every time I watch it. I'm like, why does she have blue eyes like her mom and now she has brown eyes? And so I know that seems like a nitpick, but not really. So Kira's deep character study in this episode is that her mother was Ducat's lover and Kira wants to kill her own mother. Also, why doesn't Ducat remember Kira, the lady who tried to blow him up in his own office?
Oops.
I don't believe that. Oops. So, this is really 0 spoonheads out of 10. There are no spoonheads. I will not give any spoonheads for this. This is dumb. This is stupid Star Trek. And I realize that normies love Deep Space Nine. It's like their favorite. And when asked in polling and survey instruments, they say it's because it's the most non-Star Trek or the most un-Star Trek of all the Star Trek. Yeah, I can tell because this is
That's
dumb.
for sure.
And there's no excuse for it. It's just stupid. Somebody actually sat down in a writer's room and said, let's write a story where wormhole aliens that do not understand the nature of linear time and don't even believe time invent a time orb and give it to people who experience a genocide, who don't use the orb of time to undo their genocide, but use it to work out whether or not their mom cheated on their father. And then they go back and they do a whole bunch of weird acts of terrorism. They try to murder their mother. And then they come back and say, it's deep, folks. Life is deep. It isn't as it isn't as cut and dry as I thought. What? Who? What? These people, they need more than shin kicks. They need more than Klingon pain sticks. They need more than the agony booth. They need more than the agonizer. Right now, I am going to call for them to be rovered. That is right, folks. I am asking everyone in the chat to rover the shite out of this awful, poopy episode.
Yeah. So basically, what you're trying to say, just at least, trying to imply is
crap.
That required the original first one there.
The original is cherry.
Look, the orb of time is a stupid idea, but I mean, at least for Trials and Tribulations, I didn't care because it was just a loving tribute to the original series, and I loved it. But they should never have touched it again. It's so stupid, and it's just. What is your rating of Wrong's dumber than darker, dumbass, deathy, darky, dumbassing, whatever?
And did you notice that even though she's a comfort woman, she doesn't have to provide any comfort ever? Like she would have.
Oh, she gets out of it.
There definitely would have been something horrible that happened to her, and I'm not going to say it because it'll mess up the algorithm. But we all know something
Kira?
horrible would.
Yeah, she's
like,
too tough. They would
come
never show
on.
that. She's just too much of a badass.
Right? It's an F. It is an F. F.
I give it an F minus. There are too many F minuses. There aren't enough low ratings for this piece of dog crap from me. Don't let that, I mean, anyone else can like it if they want. I just, I hate everything up. Every scene, not because of the stupid idea with the time travel and stuff, but every scene is just ridiculous and uncomfortable. We're supposed to believe. I think what gets me the most is how stupid Kira is at the beginning. When the whole plot's dumb because you're expected to believe that in any scenario, in any situation, 6 years into this show, considering how Kira feels about Ducat, that she would believe him when he says something that's stupid. When he tries this on her, that she believed him, that she even believed him. Yes. Anyway, all right, everyone. Please feel free to send your ratings, any words you may have about this splendid episode.
You heard the captain. Fire at will. Fire at will.
Fire at whoever wrote this episode. And I will let's see here. We will read these. I'll start out. Our buddy Michael Beacom couldn't be here tonight. He said he might pop in later. So I will he sent a couple of reviews. Here we go. He gives it an F minus, this idiot episode. He says, how do I hate this? Let me count the ways. Number 1, time travel. Number 2, Ducat and Kira. Number 3, Ducat and Kira's mom. Number 4, Back to the Future ripoff. Number 3, excuse me. Number 5, no hard sci-fi. It's fantasy and bad at that. Also, number 6, degeneracy on parade. Number 7, trope salad. Child hero lets child down. Horny aliens want soft earth girls. Consequenceless time travel. Got the dry heaves and craved a shower after watching. Well done, Michael Beacom. I'm right there with you, brother.
So perfect. I had to mute because I was doing the ugly laugh.
That's some good stuff there with the great Michael Beacom there. All right. Thank you, Eric. Again, Eric. The great Lord Thoth says F, 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 ugh. That's all you need to say, isn't it? Oh, my goodness. Thank you, buddy. Jay Picasso says F for the saga. For the saga. There you go. Thank you. Princess Fiona says gives it 5 out of 10. Minus 5 out of 10. Okay. Or 5 out of, okay. Thank you, Princess Fiona. Hungry Boy says Klobber gave it an A for Allred. Oh boy. I grok. I take your meaning, sir. Thank you, Hungry Boy. Zathras says it's the one episode that's better than Babylon 5. Wow, that's a little bit saying. Oh, I'm sorry, I got it mixed up. Zathras says F. If anyone does not understand why I say Babylon 5 is better than DS9, Exhibit 1, I need to go take a now. JMS is laughing at this crap. He is laughing at this crap. I can't blame him. Monsters Maniac Mexico M. What's up, buddy? He says, can't help myself, but it's a double D minus. Minus 10 Fahrenheit. Wow. It's dump, lazy. No, dump. Pardon me, it's dumb, but dumb. It is dump also. Lazy and more annoying than the worst episode of Dallas. Kira as Sue Ellen is a complete failure. Crab.
Come on, calling it dump.
Dump works for
really
me.
Good. I might actually steal that Freudian slip from you. From now on, when something's really bad, I'm just gonna say it's dump.
He accidentally wrote dump, but it works either way. It was dumpy dump. Our good buddy Cal L says F. That's a rare review for him. I mean, he's pretty easygoing feller. F for Cal says, with the number of times that the orb of time is used in this show, one wonders if the Bajorans can simply sell tickets to anyone who wants to use it. Yeah. While I understand that this episode, I got to get your next one, buddy. Hang on.
Kirby.
Who?
Oh, Kirby's attacking Eric, so I'm calling to him.
Oh. Gotta find this next one. Okay, there we go. Is intended to give some background on Kira's character via the past. It does so in the worst way possible, and I'm not referring to the time travel trope. It paints her as a cold and unforgiving person who only saved her mother's life due to their blood relation. As someone who has lost a parent, I found this to be reprehensible. If I was given the chance to see my father again, it would be an opportunity that I wouldn't waste, no matter what he may have done during his life. What Kira fails to remember is that her mother, like all people, is an imperfect being. Let's see. Yep.
And her mother didn't really have a choice.
No, she did not have a choice. And she was saving her family and is susceptible to making mistakes. It could be argued that this was pointed out by Cisco and that she was making the best out of a bad situation and also looking out for her family, which he did point out, didn't he? I mean, my respect for the Kira character dropped by several levels because of this episode, and it was quite a while before she regained any of it before the series end. I can hardly blame you, buddy.
Yeah.
Can hardly blame you at all. It's just, they don't think, I guess, I know this is 30-something years later, so it's kind of weird, but it's just like, I'm going back and going, man, you guys just didn't, or they've gotten so many accolades for the show, I guess they don't really give a crap what we say tonight, but.
No, they don't care about us.
No, they don't give a crap, so why should we care about them? Derek K says, F. I did not give it the high grades of Claudia and Raquel. We could agree to disagree, but saving her mom, is her mom still alive? We can agree to disagree, but I did not give it the high grades. Did we give it high grades? I guess he's being facetious.
I think we're getting bugged here, yeah.
Yeah. Her mom is still alive. I don't know. Yeah. Letting someone, no, they said she was dead. Later they said she died. Yeah. Letting someone who is as volatile and unstable as Kira effing with time is insane. True.
Yeah.
How much was changed? Fire up the club, buddy.
Right, and wouldn't the theater of people, who all look like that have all the religious hats? Wouldn't they that look like the Sydney Opera House? Wouldn't the theater of Sydney Opera House hats all sit down together with the Vedics and then say, okay, we have the orb of time. I think we should go back and prevent the genocide of our people.
Yep.
And I think they would vote for that. I think they would vote to bring, 1 million, 10 million, 50 million, 1 billion people back. I think they would definitely do that. They would try and undo it. They definitely wouldn't be, creating a special circumstance for, like Clobby was saying earlier, because she is a terrorist, allowing a terrorist to go back and reconcile whether or not her mom slept with Gul Dukat. It is absolutely absurd. You would have to give yourself a frontal lobotomy with a melon baller in order to enjoy this.
Hell.
Yeah.
And to enjoy it, I mean, it's worse to act. So imagine how dumb you have to be to make it. Holy crap. It's one thing to enjoy and say, oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. Hey, that's fair enough. But to make it, they're sitting around on the set actually filming this garbage. I mean, just admit that you suck. I don't know which actor directed this crap. Who knows if one of them did. But anyway.
Do you want me to check?
It doesn't matter. If you just want to make fun of them.
And welcome, Hojo.
Hojo.
Hello, Hojo. Welcome.
Good to see you. Welcome. Let's see here. All right. Shooter says... F. First and last. Oh, time. Okay. Time travel, deliberate and messy. Hey, anyone can use the orb of time to go back and change things. It is that simple. Why not erase the occupation or the discovery of the wormhole? Yeah, Shooter. I'm like, I don't get it either. I don't get it either. Ducat knew Kira was his mistress daughter all the time.
Yeah.
Only now it decides to tell Kira. Okay, sure. It would make difficult to get Kira's panties in Kira's panties, but did he ever honestly think that was possible? Yeah, he is that much of an idiot, I guess. But no, it just none of it makes any sense. It's so stupid. Why is Kira so insecure about this that she needs to risk perverting the timeline to confirm Ducat's story? Surely there were witnesses that could confirm this. And again, I continue to ask the question: why would Starfleet Command go along with it?
Yes.
Why would Cisco say? Yeah.
And why would the Bajorans allow it, boss?
Why would the Bajorans and Starfleet go? Yeah, it's nothing. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Not to mention, why are wormhole non-linear people, non-linear wormhole aliens who don't even believe in time, creating an orb of time? What?
I don't understand it. I mean, if it were meant to monitor time or something like that,
that would be
they could look at time that for their like higher priest people or whatever. But then Arn Darvin wouldn't have been able to use it to take the Defiant back into time, which again I still love Trials and Tribulations, but the orb of time makes no sense as a time machine. It's fine if it's to do with time, even though they don't even understand linear time, so that doesn't make sense, like you said. So it's just a mess. It's a mess that they did, but see, they concocted it so they can have that one innocent story, and then later these schlubs come along and say, "Hey, well, how about we use that orb of time thingy?" Yeah. No, how about not? Oh, well. Wolfie says, D, Aunt Beru, the orb of time. And they call him Scuba Peach. Says, D for dumb. Kira is bummed over her mum. Ducat calls in like a twat. She travels back in time to blow Cardassians' minds. And yet this episode, ironically, still sucks. Yes, sir. Wow.
Oh, double entendre there. Lots of it.
Very,
lots of it.
Very done. Indeed, sir. An enigmatic drop bear says, F, this episode, I agree. F, sorry. Setting aside the orb of time, MacGuffin and Kira asking Cisco for permission for something outside his jurisdiction, this was just pointless, character-destroying, melodramatic drivel. And thank you, sir. We're expected to believe that Nerys was ignorant of her mother's liaisons with Ducat, now cartoonist villain character. What next? Retconning Zial as her half-sister? Just wait.
That's exactly where my mind goes every time. I like, no matter how many times I rewatch it, I always think to myself, is that what they were going to do here? Is that what they were going to do here? And then decided not to?
Wouldn't have shocked me. It truly is a shame how the writers, if you want to call them that, of these later season episodes have deconstructed and redefined the show's heretofore solid characters. Unfortunately, there is more to come. Yes, I'm afraid so, buddy. The themes and of exploration and non-physical forms of violence are blunt and in your face, as are the use of WW2 euphemisms such as comfort women.
Yeah.
Can we get back to Roddenberry Trek, please? I'm afraid not.
Please.
I would want
Boss
to.
Man,
yes.
The director was Jonathan West.
That's the name. Oh, yeah, that name sounds familiar, but okay. I just thought it was one of the dumb. Sounds like this seems like one of the episodes one of the dumb actors would make for some reason.
Well,
but yeah,
you have a lot of reasons to believe that.
Hungry Boy says, rated G for Galactic Gilmore Girls in Space. Again, yes. Loathed in the 90s, loathe it now. Time to barf for the raspberries.
Right?
Indeed, it's just simply Steve says. Great F. Who wrote this bomb? Killer. Kira returns, treats her mom so badly. Ducat was the only good thing about this. Orb of Time MacGuffin.
Oh, gosh.
MacGuffin. Bore of Time, more like it. A raspberry-filled episode. Yes, indeed, Steve.
Yeah.
Right there on that same page.
Totally agree.
The great Max Leadstone says F+, almost as bad as Sub Rosa. Ducat just wants to tell Kira how he's feeling. He's got to make her understand. The only reason why I say it's worse than a Sub Rosa is because that's just a silly Harlequin romance, dumb, dopey story that doesn't ask you to believe that they would actually take that someone would let a terrorist go back in time with a time machine. Plus, that they have the time machine and they didn't use it for more constructive things. But no, I hear you. It's right there.
I don't want my own boyfriend. I want Grandma's boyfriend in a green wet dream.
Yes. Yeah, but yeah. I'm not gonna defend it. Never gonna give her up. Never gonna let her down. Never gonna run around and desert her. Never gonna make her cry. I'm not singing it. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt her. You music maestro, just for that. You should see him once again.
I want
Look,
Nana's boyfriend.
Max Redstone, the great music master.
Anyway.
All right. Anti-derivative Jill, our communications officer and specialist, says, F. This is a dark and harrowing tale of a different sort of prisoner of war story, so it had potential, but it failed on every account. Let's see here. The victim of it develops Stockholm syndrome and is convinced that what she is doing is ensuring the survival of her husband and children, despite her true feelings. Unless she just maybe she likes spoonheads. Kidding, sorry. Why is Kira all of a sudden not behaving like a Starfleet officer, but instead behaving, and she never was one, but but I know what you mean. But instead behaving as she did under the occupation, simply because she's time traveled to it. Because she's always been unstable, I think, even though I like the character. Yeah. It's all very convoluted and unreal that she can go back in time and have all of this influence and be protected by the prophets with no backup from actual officers like we get in Tribulations. Indeedishness. I got to go back and Save Captain Kirk is a much better story than I got to go back to Save My Mom to see if my mom loved Ducat. Really? Oh, God, the episode's so dumb. It makes me... the real world references that Cardassia is displaying in their treatment of Bajoran women are unnecessary because we know that they're evil. What real contribution did this story make? I hear you there. Thank you so much, Jill. Right there on the same page with you.
And it is true that Kira is not a Starfleet officer.
Yeah. But I think I know what she means. Like she's still Starfleet. Yeah, I know what she's saying, but yes.
Yeah.
I think Jill knows that too. I guess what she's saying, but yes.
Yeah.
Lisa says, F. Kira. Another messed up story for that character. Best part was when it was over. Boy, is that for sure. Thank you so much, Lisa. Princess Fiona says, okay, had to pull over. There are very few writers at all that write time travel. There are no TV writers that can do it. False profundity and Child of Destiny bullshit. Let's see here. Made worse by the pretentious writers. Probably thought they wrote something profound. Yeah, they probably did. They took a Futurama story and tried to do a serious version of it. Never should have passed first draft.
It's true.
Indeed.
It's true.
Well said, Fiona.
Yep.
Well
and
said,
I
Princess.
liked what Jill said too, because that ties into what Her Royal Highness said. Because when you really get down to this, and you have and you take the script apart, it's not just that her mother would have been, quote unquote, been with Ducat. It was whether or not the love or the affection was reciprocated. And so that makes it especially nauseating, I believe. So I like the combination of those two, because it's rather nauseating. Did she really love Ducat? What? Why are we doing this?
I don't know. Fanty Outside, he says F for fantastic, because it showed Kirk was repeating a truism in this side of paradise. Kira is a traitor from a race of traitors. No Bajoran who ever lived had an ounce of integrity. Let's see here. Is she going to say she belongs next to the dog faced boy? Kira saved Ducat. Kira saved Ducat. She is a collaborator. Must be a family thing. She hates her mom, but her mom didn't have the opportunity to delete Ducat. She did, but decided not to. Everything Ducat did after that point is all Kira's fault. But yeah, let's act like Kira is the highly moral one. I'm laughing at the inferior intellect that cobbled this together. Hear, hear, Fanty.
Yours is a superior.
And now for our final review of this stink bomb episode. What happened?
I think that the Comic Relief Crusaders review got zapped because it is not on our side.
Oh, was he asking about it?
Yeah, he is, and I just checked your Star tab where I collect all of your comments, and I don't see it there. So, Comic Relief Crusader and Wrenches, can you see that on your side? Because I actually don't see it on this side. I would have clicked it immediately. Could I get some help, please, folks, if you can see it, or can you please tell me whether or not the algorithm zapped it? Oh, look at this. There's one coming at 18 minutes from Jill. I just clicked it, boss. Thank you, Jill.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Jill.
And thank you, LT. LT just got it up too at the same time.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Jill. And by the way, Eric, I've been getting your notes over there too. I just can't really respond to them as much over at Twitter. Thank you, Eric K. By the way, I appreciate you. Jill says, Comic Relief Crusader said F. To sum it up, what the actual FC is now? Yeah. What the yeah? Now I know why I never finished this series. Orb of Time. Wah, Marty, get the flux capacitor ready. We got to erase this timeline.
Hey, wait a second here. I remember clicking that.
I didn't see it.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder how it got unselected because I remember his comment about the flux capacitor. I did it by
accident or something.
Weird. Anyways, it's all cleared up now. Sorry about that, Comic Relief Crusader. I don't know what happened there because I actually remember reading that and clicking on it. Weird. Anyway.
Thank you, Mark D with a C. He said, Fiona gifted one Clobber Times membership. Thank you, Princess Fiona, for doing that. Appreciate that. Keely Chow said, thanks, Eric K and Mark D for sending that to me. Said it's still better than Discovery and P Hard. Well, so's the root canal. All right, let's see here. Our final review of this turd bucket, I hope, anyway. Right here from the great Mark D with the C, the chief engineer. He said, F. Time travel. Have I mentioned I'm sick of these stories?
Yeah.
This whole story was reprehensible, in particular, likening comfort girls to collaborators as if they had a choice. That was pretty disgusting. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
How would Kira's mom not recognize her?
Right?
How you would see a family resemblance from the DS9 companion. This is a favorite among the writers and producers. Really? Wow. Said not least because of the subtle ambiguity of the denouement the episode's refusal to push the viewer towards a particular moral position as regards to Kira Moreau. P.S. The writers are freaking idiots.
Yeah. What a bunch of horse hockey. What a bunch of belly button lint picking idiocy. That is no. This is not. This is as deep as chewing gum.
It's so bad.
Do you know what I mean? Like just what? J. Picasso would like to know what below F is. And so he would like to offer up a G.
G?
Yeah, just a G because it's below F.
Feel free, buddy. You cannot erase anything. So yeah, Captain Infinity, I understand you. That's what we brought you here, dude. You're the time master. We just think, is it okay if we just think it sucks because it's a dumb story? Yeah, so anyway. I'm done with this freaking episode. Who's done with this one, folks? Let's go on to our next
Oh,
prize.
Bossman, I'm so
Yes.
sorry, but Bush Pandown asked, did this episode have different writers? No, it's actually Ira Stephen Bear and Beamler or Bemler. I don't know how he pronounces his last name, and it's an international show, so I don't like to commit to certain pronunciations. But they're regulars, believe it or not. They're as regular as Metamucil.
Hey. Okay, no. Our next thriller from Manila is
Lenrod just said Mr. Crocker had a lower F, the super F minus.
next one is Inquisition, folks. Take it
is.
away, number one.
Oh boy, Scuba Pete is singing Cher in the chat. If I could turn back time. Somebody shin kick Scuba Pete. I love him. He means the world to me, but Cher is a step too far. Those shin kicks, they're available, folks, for all members. Remember, I should mention that we do have custom emojis for all members. Please take advantage of them. They could be great fun. Okay, Inquisition, folks, is season 6, episode 18. If that doesn't line up with your streaming service, that's okay. It's production code 542, and we all watched this for the very first time on April 6, 1998. And now let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I'm going to be reading extemporaneously from Wikipedia from a heading plot. This is a user-generated site. It's often written very roughly. It can be a little maddening, but we'll slog through it and then we'll hash it out. Okay, folks? How do you like that for mixed metaphors? I'm now I need to shin kick myself. Okay, let's do this. One evening, Dr. Bashir treats Chief O'Brien's dislocated shoulder. The next morning, Deep Space Nine is visited by Luther Sloan, an agent from Starfleet Internal Affairs. Oh, it's internal, all right, but I'm not sure about an affair. Sloan suspects that one of the DS9's senior staff is a Dominion spy. He confines them to quarters and tells them to await interrogation. At Bashir's interview, Sloan treats him cordially while asking a few light questions. Later, O'Brien tells Bashir that his own interrogation with Sloan lasted hours and focused on Bashir. Bashir is brought back to the now hostile Sloan, who points out events from Bashir's past that seem to indicate disloyalty or dishonesty. Sloan proposes that when Bashir was imprisoned by the Dominion the previous years, he was persuaded to become a Dominion spy, but repressed his memories of the choice, allowing him to believe he was a loyal Starfleet officer. Bashir refuses to accept Sloan's theory, but Sloan has him detained. Captain Sisko attends Bashir's next interrogation, pointing out holes in Sloan's arguments, but privately suggests to Bashir that Sloan's theories are plausible. The next day, Bashir is beamed to a Dominion ship where he is greeted warmly by the Dominion representative Weyoun. Weyoun tells Bashir he made a moral choice to help the Dominion in order to end the war quickly. Bashir, wondering why Weyoun and Sloan are trying to convince him of the same thing, concludes that Sloan is the traitor. Mustache twirling, never mind. Bashir is rescued by the DS9 crew, but they refuse to listen to his claim of innocence. Desperate, Bashir grabs O'Brien, who pulls his arm away. Bashir, suspicious that O'Brien's injury has apparently already healed, tricks him into revealing he is unaware of the cause of the injury. Bashir realizes he has been in a holodeck simulation since the previous morning. Sloan ends the simulation and informs Bashir that his loyalty was being tested. Sloan explains that he is a member of Section 31. A secretive autonomous intelligence agency. Bashir questions the legality and ethics of the operation, but Sloan justifies their actions as necessary to protect the Federation. He attempts to recruit Bashir, but Bashir refuses and threatens to expose them. On DS9, Sisko reports that Starfleet Command neither confirms nor denies Section 31's existence. He predicts that Sloan will try to recruit Bashir again and orders him to accept so they can learn more.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't even handle it. Also, this person who wrote this does not know the difference between the Federation and Starfleet. Y'all notice that?
Yep.
Also, I'm Canadian and I teach English, and I hang around with so many Americans now that I say y'all. So y'all were paying attention to that, right? Now we have the Federation mixed up with Starfleet as though they are one in the same.
Max Redstone wins the day with that section Baskin Robbins.
Right?
It's about
31 flavors of
they
lunacy.
just sell ice cream. That's all.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Nothing wrong with that.
And it's all poo. It's
Federation
all
ice cream.
scoops of poo. Okay, so now I'm not going to say anymore. I think I've revealed what I am holding in my hand of cards, but I'm not going to get to my notes until you get to hear from my boss, my captain, mon capitaine. Please tell me, what did you think of Inquisition?
I just want to say, Captain Finity, I totally understand what you're saying. No one disagrees with you on that, really. Well, I don't. Maybe some people do, but no one here. I mean, well, know where you're coming from, my brother. You're right. You can't change history. How about you could still dumb ideas of time. We're basically talking about how dumb the time travel was in that last one, but this one, well, I didn't hate it as much as the last one. I just think it was just kind of. I really like William Sadler as an actor. Is one of I think the guy's always really good. This actually, I have a lot of the same problems with a lot of Deep Space Nine episodes. In another type of story, this is pretty. I thought at least fairly well done. The stuff between Bashir and what's his face Sloan, it's just so out of place for Star Trek. It just doesn't really. I mean, it's everything they've done. I've seen it done and done better in this episode. In other words, it's not that. Again, I can't work up a lot of emotion about this one like I did the last one. It's really kind of after a while it's boring because I knew everything they were going to do. It was very predictable. But again, it's just here we are. We're now in the thick of this war thing, and that's where we're stuck. And we're going to be. I just can't stand anything about Section 31. I guess this is the first one with them, right?
Yes, this is when we first learned of them. This is the horrible, horrible episode that introduces the giant Section ball 31. Of fetid crap known as Section 31.
I hate everything about Section 31. It goes against everything that Star Trek stands for. I got nothing for it. It's crap. It's meaningless because this is not what you're supposed to be doing in Star Trek. It's not science fiction at all. And again, I thought the actors. Best thing to say about it, the acting performances were good, but who really cares? It's just drivel, and it's I'm tired of it. This is not what I signed up for. Was something called Star Trek, and I'm surprised I didn't have more of a problem with it when I saw it before.
Yeah.
So. Tired of it. Anyway, notes.
Yeah, this is another frontal lobotomy, only this time with a paper straw. A paper straw. Okay, why wouldn't Sloan just have Julian examined by a doctor? This point forward is unbelievable because Julian would ask. And I'm being very specific here, people. You need to realize what I'm saying when you're thinking about the person who wrote this script. Why wouldn't Sloan just have Julian examined by a doctor? This point forward is unbelievable because Julian would ask. Focus in on that. Think about that for a second. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't a doctor, the second best doctor in all of Starfleet, simply ask to be examined in order to reveal these medical things that were done to Dr. Bashir to prove it to Sloan? So from this point forward, you realize that the writing is complete and utter poo. Where is Julian Bashir's JAG officer? And it's not that, oh, well, it's because it's Sloan and Sloan wanted to make the story in Julian's head. No, I want you to think about this. I want you to think of that a bunch of writers were sitting around. Let's name and shame them. Oh, it's directed by Michael Dorn. Great. No wonder it's such a pooperoony.
That's why I
Anyway,
thought the other
Bradley
ones were directed,
Thompson and David Weddle. These people actually decided that they were going to do this whole thing. And once again, this is not the first time. This is a continual problem, and I don't like it. Where is Julian Bashir's JAG officer? Even in Sloan's scenario, even if this were all but a dream that Julian was having, he deserves a JAG officer. In this, we are to believe that Starfleet has no legal or military regulations, no military processes or legal processes. And once again, why is Benjamin Sisko only the legal representation Starfleet officers on DS9 get? Why does that keep happening? It's dumb, and it treats the audience like they're dumb, okay? A doctor not asking for a lawyer? Why would a doctor not ask for a lawyer? This is the second best a doctor in all of Starfleet, and he doesn't once say, hey, can I have a JAG officer? Hey, can I talk to my superior officer? Hey, when am I getting a lawyer? He doesn't say that once, and it's dumb. This is bad writing. The episode plays Julian and the viewer as dumb. Now, I have some words about Section 31. That is this, folks. And I'm going to try really hard not to use profanity because I don't believe in it. I don't believe that it is acceptable to use profanity on air. But I want you to know right now that I really, really want to use an F-bomb here. There is no such effing thing as Section 31. This black ops that will argue against the morals, ethics, values, and laws of Starfleet and the Federation. That's what this does. That's what Section 31 does. It argues against, it actively allows the people who are writing this new iteration of this show to argue against the morals, the ethics, the values, and the laws of Starfleet and the Federation. Okay? And everything that Gene Roddenberry believed in. This tears it all asunder. It no longer exists. It's just garbage. Starfleet and the Federation are just like which involves over 100 planets. Okay? Like, I know that in this filth stuff, they think it's 5 people sitting in a meeting, but it's hundreds of planets. And it's basically like, like a giant union of planets that get together to discuss things. Look at Ent. It's a coliseum full of people. Anyways, it just makes them no better than anyone else. It makes them just as bad as the Romulan Senate. There was a time when I wasn't so severe on Section 31, but now it's not just a blip in the radar where you're like, bloop. Oh, okay, that was a stinky. Somebody had a little poopy in their pants. No. Now somebody has crapped their pants, taken their pants off, wiped it all over their body, and now they're wiping it on us. Okay? So this Section 31 thing is now a poo monster, and it's your job not to accept it. And it's up to you. I'm not going to pass judgment on you, but I'm sorry. This is not what Star Trek is, hands down, for sure. And it treats you like you're a moron. It treats you like you're an idiot, an imbecile, a nincompoop. That's how it treats you. And it tears apart the Federation, like I said, hundreds of planets, and all of Starfleet, so that it's just regular garbage like anything else. It might as well just be some foreign government that's just as polluted, worthless. It hasn't been edified. It isn't reaching to move mankind forward. It's just like any other putrefied, ridiculous governmental structure in some foreign world or in some foreign country. And it's disgusting. It destroys dreams. It destroys the magic of what Star Trek is. And for that, I am giving 2 massive middle fingers up and 1 giant. And now I'm done.
Basically, what you're trying to say is, I see that you're trying to say that. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know how it. First of all, as I said, it doesn't fit into Roddenberry's dream or his vision. I don't know how an organization like that, because he kept claiming, we don't answer to the Federation. They don't know about us. Starfleet doesn't know about us. We just exist. We're an autonomous body, and we exist whether they like. And yet we have all this technology and all this stuff at our disposal. We can do whatever we want. We can move anywhere inside, all over the Federation, all over Starfleet, and do anything we want and pretend to be with them. And when we're not, we could use in other words, obviously that means they use Federation, technology, and they use Federation credentials to move about, to do the things they want to do. Then who are you? I mean, it's so, at least with other government secret organizations, they're still working for a government. He's claiming they don't even work for and the Federation doesn't even know about them, according to Sloan. And Starfleet doesn't even know they exist. They don't really know. Well, then who are you? What are you? Because even we know that the CIA exists and works for the government. So I don't see how, someone saying that they're the CIA. Well, the government, we all know that the CIA exists. Whether you like them or not, it's beside the point. Everyone knows that the KGB exists. The Cardassians know that the Obsidian Order exists.
That's right.
The Romulans know that the Tal Shiar exists. In this, he's saying, well, we don't answer to anybody, and no one knows we exist. Federation does. Well, then how do you exist? And how do you exist? You claim you wear Starfleet uniforms when you feel like you need to use them. Mm-hmm. You don't answer to anybody. So you're not even, in that way, I'm going, okay, fair enough. They're not Federation, but they're still a bunch of, I guess, humans. And what are you? They don't define what this group is. They just say, we're Section 31, and no one knows what we exist. How convenient. I know it's Black Ops, but...
And not only that, this type of behavior could get you thrown out of the Federation. And I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to say it in an angry tone, because people need to get it, okay? Starfleet is not the Federation. Starfleet is a military organization that helped bring Earth together to reach out into the stars, okay? And the Federation are hundreds of planets that we have brought together to make peace and harmony, to edify all beings that are within that Federation to prosper. They're not the same thing. And so now I'm going to do something that I regularly do on this show that really makes people angry, because it makes them confront things that they think they believe. Does this pass the Kirk test?
Well,
it doesn't. Imagine Kirk confronting Sloan. Kirk would say the things that Gene Roddenberry would want him to say. And do you know what Gene Roddenberry would say? Yeah. There's no room in this world for dinosaurs like you, Sloan. Guys like you who are like bugs or cockroaches hiding underneath the carpets of boardrooms and governmental offices. You need to be exterminated. You need to be exposed for who you are, dragged out from under that carpet and shown to be the filth you are. That's the Kirk test. And this Sloan person, this Black Ops crap, it doesn't pass the Kirk test, because Kirk would find some beautiful flowery speech to let this person know that basically he's a cockroach in a carpet, and that it's Kirk's job to get rid of people like this, because they don't represent the edification of man as we move forward into the universe and as people. So it also doesn't pass the Kirk test. Although Kirk would have said it a lot better than I would. Kirk would be like, you must be exterminated. Don't say that. I'm just saying that Kirk would be harsh.
Well, basically, they're vigilantes. In other words, I mean, they don't fit because they're not. He said it in the episode, unless I'm missing something. He said, we don't answer to anyone. No one knows we exist. And by the way, later, Berman and all those guys went back to started in Enterprise. Remember, they kind of set it in motion. At least according to, it was, after the fact, it was retconned in there, starting in the 4th season of Enterprise, where Malcolm Reed was working for what would later become Section 31, which of course is crap that they did that on there. It's a shame. So yeah, none of it makes sense. It doesn't fit into Trek. It fits fine with any other types of fiction, but not with Trek. And it's just kind of a waste. Let's say some hellos. Thank you, by the way, for the great Cardinal Sin has popped in.
Oh, Cardi! We shouted you out at the beginning of the show, sweetheart.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Eric K, thank you, buddy. Says we exist. We don't exist. Oh, no, Bobby's going to get in a time loop again. Sorry, but thank you for that, buddy. And thank you for the super sticker. Cardinal Sin, appreciate you, man. You're too kind. I'm glad to see you, and I thank you for that, man. Appreciate you.
Oh, DJ Ronnie G's here, and so's Apollome's Minion.
And DJ Ronnie G and Apollome's Minion. All right, everybody. We're about to get to it. Let's see here.
The pepperoni.
I couldn't think of anything else. Apollome, good to see you, my dear. And let's see here. And good to see you all. Thank you all for popping in. Sander, that's a good question. I have a lot of problems with Star Trek VI, those conspirators. I think it was one of the worst things about that movie that they would have Klingon, they would have Federation officers conspiring with Klingons and Romulans, and they even mentioned arms dealers, which was a stupid thing to mention.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of problems with Trek 6, to be honest.
Yeah.
And by the way, Anyway, Sean Carter, thank you for that. He says Section 31 made sense for Enterprise, but only if they discovered it and squashed it. Would have been a great vehicle to show humankind learning. Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. Yeah.
What a wonderful point. And that is a point that I'm going to make when we get to Ent. And I'm so happy that we are of one mind on that, Sean Carter, because that's still at a time when these Vulcanians were we're still at odds in this power struggle with them. So something like that would make sense. But for it to carry on, it doesn't pass the Kirk test. I love what you said there, Sean Carter. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
So it's an F, boss. I gave this flaming pile of poo an F. This is an F, boss.
Okay, I too give it an F because it just it's not. I mean, it's not the drumhead. They're trying to be the drumhead. They fail miserably because this doesn't belong in Star Trek. Personally, that's just a personal opinion. A lot of people think are perfectly fine with some of the stuff, and I like William Sadler, great actor. I think the performances were fine in the episode. I just don't think this fits with Star Trek. That's just a personal preference. Anyway, now my friends, I will ask you to let it rip. Let us have any ratings you may have of Inquisition and any words you might have on the episode. Please feel free to let it go. Fire at will.
Yeah, fire at will. I really like the comments that Sean Carter made, because that's a lot like the comments that we made when we reviewed the best of the best for Ent. And there really are a lot of growing pains on in Ent when we're learning how we're going to deal with Vulcanians, when we're going to learn how we're going to deal with certain secret sections or people who disagree, people who aren't on board with Starfleet, people who aren't on board with this idea moving forward of a federation. And Clobby and I talk a lot about that. So I cannot wait until we get into Ent and we're able to unpack all of that. And knowing that Sean Carter is of one mind with Clobby and I on that is just, it's wonderful.
Well, let's go with before we if you go ahead and continue to star those, we'll go with our good buddy Michael Beacom, who's still not with us tonight, but he left me his reviews. He says F on Inquisition. He says, "Here is patient zero for the filth. Reuse ideas? Check. Drumhead anyone? Violation of Gene's vision? Check. Don't you know the Federation was always a lie? It wasn't a real utopia, just one of those at the top, using an inexperienced director without the leverage to contradict your crap script. Check. I do not think this is the story Michael Dorn was longing to direct. They have fully abandoned the future Gene fought for. where mankind grows up. Section 31, the fact that Klutzman latched onto it tells you all you need to know about him. That's a very good point, Michael Beacom.
That is such a great review, Michael Beacom, and I am going to borrow your label, and I will cite you when I do borrow it. But wow, calling the Inquisition the birth of Section 31, Patient Zero. I love that. I love that, Beacom's. And good evening to Canadian Spider-Man.
Hey, Canadian Spidey, what's up, buddy? All right. Let's see here. All right, so where are we at? Let me get started here. The great enigmatic drop bear says, F. Where to start with this veritable cornucopia of corruptions of Star Trek principles, lore, themes, and concepts. I got to say that again, so make sure you got it right. F. Where to start with this veritable cornucopia of corruptions of Star Trek principles, lore, themes, and concepts. Section 31 is textbook antithetical to Star Trek's fundamental ethos. Wow. So true.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Star Trek at its best is allegorical storytelling told from the perspective of a better us in an optimistic future setting. The existence of an organization like Section 31 is opposite to this. Thank you.
Beautiful.
It depicts a devolved future. It even eschews modern day justice principles like due process and agents in black rubber suits. Good grief. Was this inspired by B5 Psi Corps? Probably was. They were jealous of B5 anyway, even though they were ripping it off.
Yeah.
And I love B5, but Star Trek's not supposed to be B5.
It's not. It's a completely different universe with totally different ideas.
Totally different. Not done with corrupting basic Star Trek principles. The writers tried to use this episode to plug plot holes in previous episodes, like the runabout left in orbit around internment camp 371. Yes, that was also terrible.
Oh, that was horrible.
Ugh. This episode is insidious, a travesty, and does not belong in the Star Trek anthology. It has no redeeming qualities. Thank you. Boy, ED, knocking it out of the park, man.
Like, that's a mic drop. That's one of your best reviews ever. That was just so beautiful. Buddy. Everyone, please welcome PvP. PvP's in the house.
All right, PvP. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Princess Fiona says, F-. It's either a separator or a minus. I'll go with a minus, but I don't know. Maybe it's a separator. I'm sorry, Princess. I'll get this. Anyway, secret police forces are only necessary in repressive regimes that have no due process to keep the population in line. Suck on 31 is antithetical to both the Federation and to Starfleet. Shame on them. Love it. Wonderful.
31. Fiona, Your Royal Highness, can I just bob a little curtsy? I just want to bob several curtsies in your way. Your Royal Highness, nailed it. Nailed it. No, it's a minus. She's like, minus.
Well, they're vigilantes as far as I'm concerned, because they're not working for Starfleet, and they admitted it, so not working for anybody.
Yep.
And would there be vigilantes in the 24th century of Reed Roddenberry? I just don't think so, but they're not, that's not what they're making them out to be. Anyway, Zathras said D-, not an F- because of Bill Sadler. I like Sadler, but he's a great actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zathras and JMS laughing at this frackenshite. I'm starting to think Raquel agrees with us.
You are correct.
Then they call him Scuba. Pete says F. Song like Secret Agent. Oh, there's a Sloan who leads a life of danger. To O'Brien, he treats him like a stranger. Secret 31, man. Oh, anyway, I thought you had the whole thing written out for me. The writers made up a number, and that's really super. Oh, Secret Agent 31. Anyway.
I
made
love
me
it.
stumble.
Scuba Pete, I love it when you
You know,
make the boss sing.
oh, sorry about the singing, guys. I'd apologize
No,
to
we
you.
love it.
You've suffered enough. So sorry about that.
We love you. That was good.
Let's see here. Shooter says B, the birthplace of the dreaded Section 31, but it's okay. It is a mystery spy thriller, but the concept of Julian has a mind that can compartmentalize an alternate personality works. Let's see here. As a sci-fi concept, it works, although in the modern world, the idea has lost its edge, having been used a lot, although Julian's genetically engineered background gives it a nice twist.
Like the Mancurian candidate.
Right. It makes sense, yeah. Remember when we all questioned why the Dominion left the runabout in orbit, and we were all asked why? Is this the writer acknowledging their screw-up? It works surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Sure. I do remember when we did wonder, didn't we? So let's see.
Nice comment,
there we
Shooter.
go. Yes, indeed, Shooter. This concept would have been interesting if Julian was a spy and they had to deprogram him. But sounds like something they would do on B5. Oh, wait, they did. Zathras was right. They did do it on B5.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good pernt there, buddy.
Yep. So true.
Sure, we have
scarily true.
Indeedishness. Sure, we have seen this before, but it still works. Plus, the idea that Sloan is trying to trigger the altar is an interesting angle. Overall, an enjoyable episode for me, at least. It's a fair cop.
Like to get him to snap his crayons. You like that concept. I hear you, Shooter.
Pulling a prisoner thingy on him.
Yeah.
Lisa says, F. Section 31 is trying to give us all a Section 8. Another convoluted story. Crap writing, offering tricks and gymnastics to allude to how genius the storyline of Bashir becoming a spy. Bad, bad.
That's another thing. More Lisa, more of Julian Bashir as a spy.
Right.
Ooh,
man,
groundbreaking.
Bashir. Yeah. Silly stuff.
Julian's always the spy. Everywhere he goes now.
Eric K. the Great Bronze Wrencher says, D. How could during a war the chief medical officer and head of intelligence for the quadrant leave for a pleasure planet? My first problem.
Yeah.
What you would think a computer like Julian would question the same. He wakes up from an alarm, 7 a.m., asks the computer again, time, 6 seconds later, 7 a.m., 11 seconds. Oh, 7:11. Oh, yeah. Something is not right. I thought Julian was smart. Well, he's not as smart as the writer.
Sometimes he's a complete idiot, and then other times he's Data, and then sometimes he's a complete nincompoop, and then he's Spock. You know, it's always a mixed bag. Lisa and I usually laugh at this. Which Julian are we getting this week? Is it the nincompoop or is it Spock?
Indeed. Hungry Boy says, rated I, for I saw this plot contrivance and its tropes on more than a few Law and Order internal affairs based episodes beforehand. Let's see here. Sorry for being simple, but didn't TOS establish the glory of the Federation was us rising above the need for this Stasi crap?
Well, now you
one
sound
would
like
think
Gene.
one.
Yep.
One would think so, wouldn't one? Max Redstone says, F. This is the drumhead. This is a terrible waste of William Sadler as a character actor. A la Moraine and Dietzer. Yeah, I mean, he deserves it. Why not? It's a fair cop.
That's a crowd pleaser, boss.
We all love that one. Phantom Outside, he says, F. They're lazy and stupid and wasted a good concept and turned it into garbage. Section 31, it should have been more like Area 51, probe warehouse 13, a unit, or a probe, a depth that investigates alien tech. Hang on. Got to find your other one there, buddy. It's there it is. That would have been more productive use of resources. In Metamorphosis, Kirk says humanity is on 1,000 worlds and spreading out. Picard claims 150 worlds, probably members, not worlds. Yeah, it's members. I said member. Okay, that's number 2. Here's your third one of 4 all of a sudden. You said 1 of 3, then you got 2 of 2. Then you have 2 of 3. Now you've got 3 of 4. I mean, some of us need some help with this counting, Fanty.
Imagine how I feel.
Section 31 is, as rendered, was a cancer in the Federation, peaceful coexistence and cooperation with a dash of double-dealing, axe stabbing, underhandedness. New Drac much. What mirror universe rock?
We seek peaceful coexistence.
Did this slime devil crawl out from under? I'm sure there will still be cockroaches in the future, but in Roddenberry's vision, they won't come from human form. Yeah, absolutely.
Or they'll be flushed out and flushed away. You know,
absolutely.
And with a firm hand of Kirk saying, we need to aim higher than this. We need to be better than this. We need to be a better version of ourselves. We need to leave this behind. And that's what charges the human soul. That beautiful hope, that leadership, that hope. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, now we have let's go. Since we have a lot of negative reviews with this one, let's give the other side some talk. A great buddy, Stephen Kal-El, the Super Wrench Supreme, says, A. He says, Section 31 is recognized by many, including myself, to be a slap in the face of the hopeful and optimistic future that Gene Roddenberry envisioned for humanity. That being said, I found, this episode to be an enjoyable and thought-provoking one, as it brings up an interesting discussion regarding civilization's way of life and what would be done to protect it. It was, hang on, buddy, takes a while to get to him there, as you know, Kal-El, buddy. Hinted at once before with the military coup that Admiral Layton attempted earlier in the series here, though it's members of a rogue agency dedicated to the protection of the Federation. No matter the cost, the story itself, while entertaining, was filled with the usual plot twists and turns, and the revelation towards the end was hardly surprising. However, it was the open discussion for and against the existence of Section 31 that I found to be this episode's strongest point. If everyone involved in the discussion at the end was for or against the very existence of Section 31 and its actions, then I would agree it would be very heavy-handed indeed, no matter which way the writers decided to swing the pendulum. This episode's willingness to introduce and address the impact of a group like Section 31 on Starfleet and the Federation and its principles made for a great episode, in my opinion. Well, thank you, Kal-El, buddy. We always value your opinion, my friend. You know that, so always come with it, man. Always bring it.
Boss, I have to interrupt, and I beg your pardon. Please excuse me, but do you remember at the beginning of the show where you said that you thought you had accidentally timed someone out? I think I know who that is.
Who?
It's our Wolfie. Wolfie.
Not there?
Yeah, Wolfie can't get through,
I don't
know. He's here now, yeah, but all of the things he's been sending have not been getting through to me. I can't see them. Yeah, and now
anyone see Wolfie over there?
They can see him. I can see him now, but I don't see anything that he sent me. Is he the one who got timed out?
I don't know.
Yeah. Crap.
I don't know. Wolfie,
Well,
you here, brother?
Wolfie, can you send a test, sweetheart? Sorry to interrupt you, boss man. Wolfie, can you send a test? Can you just type test into the thing so I can see if it shows up on my side?
Yeah, see if you can.
Yeah. Boss, can you go over to the live tab and tell me if you see him type test?
Okay.
I'm on the live
I
tab.
see him
as
getting
well.
tagged.
Yeah.
There he is, test right there. I see him. Yeah.
Okay, we see you now.
I when I said that, I didn't realize what I was hitting was I was hitting edit.
That's
So I
okay,
know
honey.
I didn't time anyone out, but
Okay.
at the time I thought I did. So
Weird.
know.
Wolfie, you know how much the boss loves you. The captain loves you, and so do I. I'm so sorry that your stuff didn't get through, honey. I will make sure that I have a special eye out for it and make sure it gets up there. We love you, sweetheart.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Wolfie. If you got anything you need us to, you want to put back up there that we didn't get to for whatever reason, buddy, please do.
Yeah. Here.
Okay. Let's see here. Comic Relief Crusader says F yawn. After the last episode, was it free crack pipe day in the writers' room? Seriously, this is not Gene's Trek, Clubboni. If they don't exist, they have no authority. That's a very good point. Our wonderful communications officer Jill says F. Performances were incredible, but this is a clip show without the clips, which makes good one. Makes for a dull and uninspiring cacophony of, and it falsely represented how Starfleet should work, even in a holo program. Indeed. The mere existence of Section 31 goes against everything Star Trek is about. It goes straight against Gene's vision, and it is a complete retcon of everything written before this episode. Indeed.
Amen.
Its formation during the war would have made more sense to have recently occurred due to it, but to retcon it back, the creation of Starfleet is a vile way to backpedal your storytelling.
Yes.
Good point. Had it not been a retcon, I could have seen them as believable villains, and if Starfleet knew they existed, I would have to believe they would be trying to stop them, but neither is achieved. Good point. Complacency is ignorance isn't a Starfleet. Section 31 uses Article 14 as an excuse to exist. I'd rather believe Starfleet thinks they don't, but also makes them naive and dumb, which also doesn't fly. Very nicely said, Jill.
So true, so true.
Absolutely, Jill.
And Eric's saying that it's timeout only lasts for 5 minutes. Shows you what I know about wrenching. Sorry, Eric. Yeah, and Eric also left you a gift. And
on my way.
I'm keeping a special eye out on Wolfie. As you all know, Wolfie sends us beautiful pictures and always teaches us about military and stuff like that. So we love that human being. So whatever was going on, we're going to keep a special eye out on it now. And
I hope it didn't get time out, but if he did, it could have. I don't see how I could have done it now that I've looked back, but we'll see. Anyway, just glad you're here, buddy. Sorry about that. Simply Steve said F-O. Effort. F-O, effort. Okay. Bashir, dumb again. Section 31. Do they exist? Non-exist. First mention, Sloan plays crew off of each other. It's torture, which Inquisition implies of mind, of mind with confusion and head slaps.
Zero effort, buddy. He meant F. Zero effort.
Oh, zero. Okay. Zero effort. I'm sorry. Sorry, buddy. My bad. Pleasant Valley Pictor. What's up, PvP? Says F for fail. What most others have said, Section 31 does not compute. Indeediousness. Yep. Let's see. We have a thank you, Princess Fiona, for the super chat. She says Bashir Powers, intergalactic man of mystery. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
The great Eric K. Thank you, buddy. Says time at last 5 minutes plus Wolfie was not. Okay. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Sweetheart of a human being. I love you.
The chief engineer, the great Mark D with a C, says F. On the surface, this could have been an interesting episode if there was a lone officer and crusade against Bashir. Unfortunately, the creation of Section 31 does lasting damage to Trek. Indeed. 31 can now be used as an easy vehicle to take Trek in a dark direction completely against Roddenberry's vision. The writers have tasted the forbidden fruit and have been cast out of paradise. And this is only one example of how many times they've gone against Gene's vision. From the DS9 companion, it came from my growing realization that we could do more with the Star Trek franchise than we'd initially thought we could. Now that he's not around to say anything about it, it was the idea of culpability. So you don't understand the concept, you Hollywood wieners. The idea that we should avoid knocking the Federation and we should avoid knocking Starfleet, but we could knock elements of them. Why is Earth paradise in the 24th century? Bear asks. Because the guy who created it wanted it that way, dipshit. Well, maybe it's because there's someone watching over it and doing the nasty stuff that no one wants to think about. P.S. The writers are idiots.
They are.
That shows how ignorant these morons are.
And if you don't want to write in Gene Roddenberry's universe, then don't write. Go write somewhere else. Go write your own stuff. If you're such awesome sauce, then go write and see what happens to you there. See how far you get.
Somewhere else, jerks.
It's also, I think it's also intellectual suicide to assume that would come together and say, look, that we need this black ops through humanity instead of through the Federation. Like, huh? Like, how would you even get all of those planets and all of those species to even agree to that? So it's just BS. What this is, and you just got to call it the way you see it. You got to call balls and strikes, as the boss always says. Is they're lacking the Maquis and needed something new, and trying to undo Gene Roddenberry's Utopia is what they've been trying to do since the beginning, and they're even open about it. I mean, how many times have I said in the block text where the people who were involved with writing the latter iterations of Star Trek said, we didn't like this idea. We thought this was an absurd idea. Like even the Prime Directive, they made fun of the Prime Directive and said it shouldn't have existed. And they wanted to prove how dumb it was by writing a script about it. I mean,
screw them. Let's move on to our next episode, shall we? Thank you, Mark. By the way, thank you again, Princess Fiona, for gifting the membership there. We really appreciate it. Mark just sent me a notice on that. So making sure I have. All right, we're up for another episode, everyone. What you want? Should we do another one? You think, everyone?
Yeah, let's keep going.
But thank you, Eric K. and Mark, for giving me the heads up on that. I'm getting them from two different angles there. It takes me a while to get both of them. Thank you. All right. Next up is In the Pale Moonlight.
Yeah, In the Pale Moonlight is season 6, episode 19. If that doesn't line up for you and your streaming services, international peeps, it is prod code 543. And we all watched this for the very first time on April 13th, 1998. Let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I will be reading extemporaneously, that's right, a cold read, from the Wikipedia page dedicated to In the Pale Moonlight. Let's do it. The episode is told in flashback as Sisko records a personal log entry on the events of the past 2 weeks. The losses suffered by the Federation in the Dominion War are taking their toll. To turn the tide of the war, Sisko decides that he must bring the Romulans into the war on the Federation's side, no matter what. To do so, he will need evidence that the Dominion plans to attack the Romulans. Sisko enlists Garrick's help to find this evidence, but all of Garrick's contacts end up dead shortly after communicating with him. Garrick suggests they forge a recording of Dominion leaders discussing a surprise attack. Hesitant, but driven forward by the Dominion's recent conquest of Beta Z, Sisko obtains permission from Starfleet to proceed. As Garrick requested, Sisko secures the release of a forger named Graython Tolar from a Klingon prison. In order to obtain an authentic Cardassian data rod, he is forced to trade a large quantity of biomimetic gel, a rare, dangerous, and highly regulated material, over Bashir's protests. When Tolar stabs Quark in an altercation while drunk, Sisko bribes Quark to drop the matter. Tolar forges a holographic record of a meeting between Dominion leaders discussing plans to invade Romulus. Meanwhile, on Garrick's advice, Sisko arranges, sorry, everyone, I'm really tired. I've been at a con all day. Sisko arranges a secret meeting with Vreenak, an influential Romulan senator. Sisko gives Vreenak the recording, but the senator discovers the forgery and vows to expose the deception. As Sisko faces the possibility that his actions may actually force the Romulans to side with the Dominion, he learns that Vreenak's ship was destroyed en route home. Sisko confronts and punches Garrick, who admits he planted a bomb on Vreenak's ship. Garrick explains that when the Romulans scan the wreckage and find the rod, any imperfections will be attributed to damage from the explosion, and the Romulans will assume that the Dominion assassinated Vreenak to prevent him from bringing the rod. Thus, the recording will implicate the Dominion as planned. Garrick tells Sisko he can erase his conscience with the knowledge that the Alpha Quadrant may have been saved, at the cost of the lives of Vreenak and Tolar, whom Garrick also had killed, and Sisko's self-respect, which Garrick calls a bargain. Soon the Romulans indeed do declare war on the Dominion. At the end of his log entry, Sisko wrestles with having condoned forgery, bribery, murder for the good of the Alpha Quadrant, and after thinking about it, declares that he can live with it. He then deletes the entire personal log. And that is all so fine, folks. Well, maybe some of them are fine, maybe them not so fine. At Wikipedia have to say about In the Pale Moonlight. I'm going to turn it over to the boss. Captain, my captain, mon capitaine. Please tell me, what did you think of In the Pale Moonlight?
Well, it's not really much of a Star Trek, but it is great drama. I mean, I think it's beautifully acted, and it's just disturbing in every single way it can be, and it does not. Again, we talk about, I know it's a broken record. It's not really a sign up for Star Trek for, but it's tough for me to deny it. It's great drama and very well written and very well acted. And it's just, and it's a great story. I really wish they wouldn't doing any of this war stuff with Star Trek, but if you're going to do war with it, the story does fit in with what they were trying to do. And so I'm always torn up about it. It tears my guts up inside to see this happen to Star Trek, but it's just so well done that I've got to be fair. It's a great piece of drama.
Yeah.
And I mean, just this great character piece. And Garrick, oh my God, the Garrick and Sisko stuff, it's just out of this world. Great moments, great characterization, and stuff like this.
Yep.
And just amazingly well written drama, I think.
It is.
Notes?
Yeah, so the story is by Peter Allen Fields, the teleplay. So once again, we had a story. And, I like to make sure that people understand that when you have a story and then you have somebody who comes along and turns that story into a teleplay, you have some real magic happening there. So the teleplay is by Michael Taylor. And here are my notes. Ben Sisko becomes the Mad Admiral trope in an increasingly un-Star Trek show. There's no denying that this episode is excellent. It is well written. It is well acted. It is an expert concept. But now Sisko is no longer a Gene Roddenberry captain. The Garrick twist is high-quality writing. I find again and again watching this that the twist never gets old for me, no matter how many times I rewatch it. The Garrick twist is high-quality writing, even after multiple rewatches. There is no high-minded lesson from Gene Roddenberry here, and it is quite sad. There's no tapping the brakes. We're careening around, lying, cheating, bribing, accessory to murder, and of course, Sisko says that he has no guilt. And so I have 2 ratings for this particular episode, which many of you know that I have to resort to sometimes in order to make a point. And it's not that I'm, chickening out of my rating. It's that you need to understand that I will give some ground and call something what it is, but it doesn't mean that I have to, that I have to give it all away and sell out and betray what I believe in. So, you all know that I'm a writer. You guys know that I studied writing in university. You know that Gene Roddenberry is precious to me. He's more precious to me than even Star Trek. And so this is incredible television. You couldn't ask for more from a television show than this. You'd have to. That's absurd. You can't offer more than this in a television show, especially a television show of this length. It is beautiful television, but it's not Star Trek. And so I'm just going to say now that for television that does not have the Star Trek label, this is an A+. I cannot believe how good the writing is, the acting, the concept. I love the twist at the end. It's all put on Garrick. It's just unbelievable that he's willing to do the dirty work once he's involved to show people how to get things done. But once again, we have to admit now that Benjamin Sisko is no longer a Gene Roddenberry captain. He's not. He has just said now that he's lied, he's cheated, he's bribed, and he helped murder people and get people off of murder, not to mention aggravated assault and all these crimes, theft. The list of crimes is long. And he says he has no guilt. And so he is the Mad Admiral. It's not good. This is a Gene Roddenberry rating of F, and this is A+ television if it doesn't have the Star Trek label on it. And those are my 2 ratings, folks.
Nothing wrong with that. I was writing the notes about how to do notes that much, but I came to pretty much the same thing. I'm giving it an A+, but for a Star Trek, it's an F in that sense. But this is just riveting television. It's so brilliantly written. You've covered pretty much everything about it. Now, I don't think it's necessarily a Mad Admiral thing because he's not doing anything to enrich himself. He wants to save the Alpha Quadrant. Hello there, Cassandra. We're en route.
Yeah, I just sort of wanted to put him in the sort of like, he snapped his crayons. Good evening, Cassandra. So yeah, that's where I was going with that when I was writing my notes while I was watching the episodes. I just thought, okay, so has he lost his mind here? Is this temporary insanity? Are we going to say to him that he was just driven by the thoughts of millions of people dying? And I think I could have lived with this, but he seems so smug at the end, admitting to all of these crimes, including homicide, and saying, I have no guilt. And
I
for
could
that,
live with this, he said, yeah.
Yeah, and no, I think he actually says, doesn't he use the word guilt? I don't remember. I'd need to check the script.
I think I can live with that. I think he says this is how he
so it's pretty like that you should be shook when somebody says that to you. When somebody says, like all of this, instead of saying, there were billions of lives in the balance, and I'm ashamed of what I did, and I deserve to be punished, but I'm going to go on because I think about those billions of lives, and we can move forward from there. But
right.
There is I wanted what I was trying to get to with that point, Captain, is that I wanted there to be a little bit of an element of like nervous breakdown or temporary insanity, or just driven by the sheer madness of what he had to face and the lives he had to save. And I didn't get that. And so he's not a Gene Roddenberry captain.
I got you. No, I understand. Absolutely. Well, everybody, hey, let us see what let us have now your ratings, your any rating you may have for In the Pale Moonlight, any words you may have about it. And while number 1 is starring those, we have a special surprise from the old days. The great Max Redstone has given us this is an episode his favorite episode, has given us some limericks. Who wants some Max Redstone entertainment, my friends?
Maximum Redstone.
Indeed. Here we go. All right, everyone. Blast from the past. The great Max Redstone. Limericks In the Pale Moonlight. The Dominion's still on the attack. Cisco wants to be on the right track. Why is he shocked when the cure involves fraud and murder when he's partnered with Elam Garak? Whoa. Nice one. Good one. There you go. And now our buddy Michael Beacom also, let's get his review on this episode. Where are you? There we go. All right, my buddy Michael Beacom. In the Pale Moonlight by Michael Beacom. His episode, he says F. He gives it an F. He says, great WW2 story. Problem is that it was supposed to be Deep Space Nine, DS9. Again, the idea that the Federation has to be bad to be good. The motivation story of every supervillain I ever saw in comics. Every flaw, problem, and failure of this story can be exposed with one question. What would Kirk do? The answer is never what they did do in this episode. I can't damn them more than that. So, yeah.
Kirk test.
I would say that even Kirk, if it came to saving like that many lives, he might do something. He might pull a trick that might not be all that nice or even clean, but he certainly would agonize about it, and it would tear him to pieces.
Yeah.
Assuming he would do, and that's just me saying that,
I always felt like whenever Kirk did something like that, that he was forced.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it was like he was backed up against the wall, and there's there were no other choices for him, right? And even to the point where we knew he would even give his own life if he could turn that scenario around, and it didn't work. So
I think Cisco was pretty agonizing about it throughout most of the episode. Him talking to himself like that could have been trying to talk himself into something. He said, I can live with that. Well, I can live with that's far cry from saying, screw it, who cares? Because he was pretty pissed off at Garak.
That's true.
So
he did slug him, hey?
Yeah, I don't think it was as cold as that. I think he did. I mean, he was agonizing about it. I think he weighed his own conscience against all those lives that it saved. So that is kind of why I don't look down on him too much on that. I mean, he's done other things that so
I gotcha.
Now we got enigmatic drop bear.
You do. You have ED.
C. The basic problem here is that we are expected to believe that the Romulans would enter a non-aggression pact with the Dominion. Good point. That they would not see them as an external, an existential threat. Interesting indeed. Unlike the Cardassians, the Romulans are not an empire on the brink of collapse. In order to survive, the Cardassians needed to make an alliance with a powerful partner. The Romulans do not. Okay. It is unsettling watching Cisco indulge in a violent conspiracy, undermining the well-established diplomatic tactics typically employed by the Federation. And they also authorized it. Let's see. Garak was great, though. The methods he employed were completely consistent with his character. This bumped up my grade a little. Well, I hear you, ED. I definitely understand where you're coming from, buddy. Zathras. Wow, that's a rare rating for the Zath. Now, A+. This episode shows Garak playing Cisco to do everything he needs to kill the Senator. Best Garak episode of the show. This is why Garak is best character in the show. It's a fake. And he wishes Garak would move. He wishes Garak would move to deep space. I mean, to Babylon 5.
Yeah, but the writing on that with what happens at the end with Garak, with Garak, realizing that the rod had failed, and so he kills him. I mean, it's such a great idea, and every time you rewatch it, you still say to yourself, whether you're an author or just a regular person who likes television, every single time you have to say, wow, that was such a great idea, because it's so real. It's so real to that character. Like if that, like it actually brings Garak more to life as though he were an actual being. And that's the crazy thing about that, because it's just like Garrick is so unpredictable. And here, like, he is willing to do anything. And no matter how many times you rewatch it, that is such a genius idea. Taylor just came up with a very genius idea there, or Fields. I'm not sure which one of them thought of that, but wow, like it's such a great idea.
Incredible. Yeah. What was it? Oh, JT Kirk, I didn't know you were here, buddy. Welcome. Good to see you, buddy.
JT
Kirk says NCC 171A. No matter how hard I try, I still love this one. Not Trek, but it's too good to fail it on non-sci-fi grounds this time. Yeah, it is. It's got such great character stuff.
What a great thing to say.
Princess Fiona says, A, but where were these guys for the previous 18 episodes? Better storytelling than Star Trek telling. It's an amazing ride. The quality, let me give it a pass. I'm that way too. I mean,
what a nice review.
Sometimes you just you have to dig deep and go, you know what? Fair is fair, and if something's good, it's good.
It's an A+.
Eric K. the Bronze Richer says B. If I did not know Cisco, F.
Yeah.
Since I know Cisco, if I did not Cisco, F. Since I know Cisco. Cisco having a problem doing this, please. Cisco has no problem with committing homicide and genocide himself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
he did use a biogenic weapon, and so this for me is I understand people sticking up from and saying, you know, like a lot of people like Cisco, but he used a biogenic weapon and now he did this. And so for me, after this laundry list of crimes and him sort of acting smug about it at the end, I divorce him from the captain's Gene Roddenberry's Captain's book. It's so unfortunate. But he'll be right back in again when I start rewatching in January.
Why did he get upset at Garrick? I think he got upset because he did not get to do the killing himself. Got to love Garrick. Wow.
Yeah, that whole thing with Garrick's so good.
Victor Fontaine says A+. In my opinion, this episode is one of the best of Deep Space Nine. Is one of the best of Deep Space Nine shows. How war and death will drive even the best of individuals to sacrifice their morals to do whatever needs to be done to save lives. Indeed. This is top tier Garrick and brings back that darker side of Cisco that surfaces when he is left with no other option to defeat the evil and that threatens the Alpha Quadrant. Thank you so much. Shooter says A+. Another espionage piece right after the last episode, though. No one stood up in the writer's room and said, let's space these out a bit. Yeah, you're right. I hear you, Shoot. You think they would want to do that? Still, it feels different with the style used in this, with Cisco narrating as Captain's log works well as once off. Yeah, once off. Something a bit different always feels fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, sir. Cisco making a deal with the devil, aka Garrick, is very well played. With Garrick going rogue to achieve the mission is brilliant. The ends justify the means. Well, they do.
And Garrick is shown to be more intelligent than Cisco because he could think of the moves ahead of the moves. This is somebody who, he plays a wicked game of chess.
Indeed. Wolfie says, rating 1A, quality optolithic data rod. One quality optolithic data rod. Sorry. You had to make me say optolithic, didn't you?
Of course, he loves it.
I think this is at least the second best Garrick and one of the best DS9 episodes. This blew me away like a Romulan in a shuttlecraft. Woo.
Yeah, I agree.
Some of the things that Cisco says about being the good guys does detract from what Starfleet is, but fits well into the Deep Space Nine story so far.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I love the conversation over the fake Romulan ale as the foreshadowing for what's happened,
Yeah.
what's about to happen. Specifically, that something not quite real will be good enough.
Yeah. And that they sent the connoisseur. They sent the connoisseur to tell you whether or not it was the real McCoy. They sent the ultimate auditor, the ultimate suspicious mind, and so you're already on edge and you're rooting for Cisco. It's such great writing. I cannot, Wolfie. I think this might actually be my favorite Garrick episode because of it feels like Garrick is real, like he's an actual being. It's crazy. Such good writing.
It's so good, and acting too. This story has a bit of the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few motives in it. Beautiful Romulan shuttlecraft designed by Doug Drexler in this. Only time we ever see the ship. Oh, okay, wow. Always get the great ship info from the great Wolfie. Okay. Max Redstone says A+, Hall of Fame division. One of the best Star Trek episodes ever. Whereas in Trials and Tribbles, we saw a perfect ensemble performance. Here we take the journey along with Cisco and Garrick. We're compelled to examine Cisco's actions from where his character begins, began the series, to where he is now. We also might ask what Kirk or Picard might have done in the same situation. Let's see here. The story isn't so much pure science fiction in the same way that DS9 ends up not being so much pure science fiction. It's great TV, just not great Star Trek, which is what DS9 was as a series.
So well said.
Well, very well said as always, Max, the master of the limerick. The episode is organic. Cisco can see the coming existential crisis. We see the decisions he's compelled to make as he goes further and deeper into the situation. Cisco knows but can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I think the best part of that, the best part is that we are left with certainty but not resolution. We know what Cisco did and the consequences, but we do not get an answer as to what he did was right or wrong.
Yep.
Interesting indeed. As viewers, we are not distracted. There is no A or B plot. Cisco has decisions to make. Garrick speak Garrick.
Yeah.
Is going to make them happen. The ends justify the means for now.
Yeah.
Well done. Well said as always, my friend.
Yeah. Really, really, really great comments. I'm just blown away.
Our wonderful communications officer, Jill, says, A, this episode is stunning. The only part I don't like is that he says he'd do it all again when the only thing that saves it for me is that he didn't know Garrick was going to kill the senator.
That's the smugness I'm talking about, Jill, and I totally agree with you, sweetheart.
Absolutely. It's good he didn't know what Garrick would do and admonished him for it without being naive about it. But he knew he committed actions unbefitting a Starfleet officer, so he deletes the record. It's one of the most incredible moments of DS9 and shows how to effectively demonstrate war in a way that doesn't shy from the consequences of going against principles. Fair enough. Absolutely. DJ Ronnie G says B+. It only loses points because Cisco engaged in excessively sketchy activity. Okay. Addendum for the great Max Redstone. He says, addendum. It would be funny if after deleting the log entry, Jake walks in looking for his voice recorder, which he left on. Did you do another one? Which he left on. Oh, he left on. Sorry. That's cute. Nice.
Oh, and Zathras is calling it an evening. Everyone, please say
Zath,
to
be good, buddy.
Zath, or you could just put 3 craps in the chat, which he loves. Crap.
Crap.
All right,
Crap.
Zathras, be good, buddy. Lisa says F. I believe the space station Deep Space Nine is jinxed or infects everyone that comes in contact with it and becomes corrupted. The evil that dwells within his has tainted all hope that Star Trek offers. Well, it is a Cardassian station, so you might be onto something.
What a beautiful,
well said. Yeah,
Star Trekker though. There, right there. That's a pure Trekkie talk in there.
yeah, absolutely. Stephen, our great buddy Kal-El, the Super Inch says, A, this episode was an interesting one, as it shows quite clearly the Faustian deal that Sisko and Starfleet, who ultimately approved the plan, made for the greater good. What makes this episode great, in my opinion, is that it doesn't shy away from the fact that Sisko has engaged in despicable acts that anyone would condemn. Sisko, however, even citing the old saying about the road to hell, the road to the underworld. I'm sorry, the underworld, finds himself compromising his principles more and more as the events unfold in the episode. Garrick is, of course, the figure that Sisko makes the deal with, personified. He even reassures Sisko that the acts were justified because the Alpha Quadrant may have been saved as a result. This is not, however, not how a Starfleet officer acts, and Sisko knows it. The real rationalization of his choices, especially since he had several chances to put a stop to the plan, clearly ate away at him, resulting in his angry outburst and assault on Garrick. It's clear that there's no defending Sisko's actions because the character himself isn't even defending them, except for the greater good of the Alpha Quadrant argument that was made. So while I don't agree at all with the actions Sisko took, this episode was a fascinating look into how desperate times can sometimes bring about the worst decisions made by those in charge. Thank you so much.
I need to interject because Katie is here.
Oh my
Cinema
goodness.
Gulp just walked through the door and said hello, and the Beacons have safely arrived home. And so they have now joined us live. So no longer radio, but in the live chat. So Michael and Cassandra Beacom, welcome. We love you guys so much. I'm so happy you got home safely. Cinema Gulp, welcome. And Katie! Katie is in the starred tab. Boss, you can access her comment there.
All right. Well, good to see you all. Cinema Gulp, thank you for being here. Katie, love you. Good to see you. Michael, good to hear you. But I've been reading your reviews, buddy, just so you know. And it's good to see you. Let's see here. Where was we? Okay. Simply Steve says D. Toller was a good secondary character, had a short part as a forger. Sisko utilizing deception, but unbecoming a Starfleet officer. No consequences for his actions. Well, they did approve it. Bad moral choice, but overlooked. All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Wolfie had another one? Okay. How glad is everyone that Romulans ditched those TNG uniforms? Yeesh. Someone must have told them the big shoulder look is out. Okay.
I know that's not a review, but there are some times when people in our group actually say the things that I'm thinking or the things that I say out loud as I'm watching the episode. And so that was one of those times. I'm sure everyone was very relieved that the Michelin men were no longer on the screen. You see this very slim, like I still don't like the Romulan ridges. I mean, I accept them, but I don't like them. But the slimming down of the Michelin men, so welcomed, and the tailoring I think is much better. But those ridiculous uniforms, those are ridiculous uniforms. The second gen, the first are gorgeous. Second gen suck. Third gen, it's okay. At least they're toning it down, right, Wolfie?
Gotcha. Fanty, Outsiders is A for the app, as Trek gets a B. Cisco says a guilty conscience is a small price to pay. He did not say he had no guilt. He said he could live with it. He could live with it. This was a larger scale version of A Private Little War, where he introduced serpents because he had to. I don't think Kirk would have been as blindsided by Garrick as Cisco was, but Kirk would also have gotten the Romulans into the war. Okay, hang on. Where were I?
Without lying or hurting anyone, because Kirk is Kirk.
Well, yeah, he's the best. So.
Oh, Katie just put up a second one, boss. So she's got a two-parter there now.
Okay, hanging on there. It's more likely some of the problems would be avoided, i.e., letting the Forager free to roam the station. He'd have kept in lockdown. No one would know he was there. Gotcha. All right, Fancy. Let's see. Pleasant Valley Picker says, A, great Garrick episode. Garrick doing the dirty work to achieve a necessary goal is in character and is why he's a great character. Well, yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. Cisco putting aside his moral center when he realizes Garrick did what was necessary is chilling. Cisco doing his personal log through the episode and deciding to erase it at the end, powerful. Thank you, PvP. Comic Release Crusader says, I got no ratings, so I'll trust Raquel on this episode. Well, that's good policy.
Oh, Sandra, I am not saying that Kirk is space Jesus, but I think conduct becoming a captain that would be in keeping with the original author's intent for the entire storytelling process is definitely Kirk. When you see Kirk, you are seeing all the things Gene Roddenberry wanted him to struggle through, good and bad and virtuous, and coming out on the other end, giving human beings hope for a better tomorrow, and hope in their fellow man. And that's a very, very important thing here is that hope in your fellow man. And I think it's something that we're very much lacking in our society today. Do you have hope in your neighbors, hope in your fellow man? Do you have hope in their decision making? Do you feel warm and fuzzy about strangers you've never met, trusting that they're going to do the right thing? These are some pretty powerful things that Gene Roddenberry was trying to create, and that's my point.
Lisa said, I thought the same thing. Cisco was jelly. He wanted to be murderous at Eric K. Talking to Eric, that's what Fiona said that. And Fiona said, I'm reminded of the line, if we don't hold our values, then what are we fighting to save anyway? Gotcha. I understand. Katie. Wrong's dumber than good. Let's see. Good episode, in my opinion. Boy, you're lucky you missed our review of it then. Katie, if you get a chance, if you want to just laugh at how crazy we are, or maybe not, you may not want to see our review of that one, but oh my. Because oh boy. I think it have closure to Nerys and her relationship with her mother. It dealt with the issues with a delicate balance, but showed how of a I think much of a user Ducat was solid B. Okay. Catching up on Katie's reviews here, folks. That's cool. I think the episode had a good plot. Always enjoy Romulan. It's a fake. A fake. But I am more than willing to agree that this episode is a gateway. Janeway gets far more flack for Tuvix. Wow. Let's see here. I do think that in the Pale showed that Cisco was willing to willing to own his decisions and not take the coward's way out. I thought his acting with Garrett was really well done. Solid B. 3. Okay, well, there you go. Thank you so much, Katie. And let's see now.
Wonderful.
Our final review of this episode for the evening, it looks like, will be from our great chief engineer, Mark D with a C, says A+. Great writing and performances and plot twists. Cisco initially starts out with standard spycraft to steal war plans to get the Romulans into the war against the Dominion. The story has many historic parallels, and for example, the sinking of the Lusitania. How do you say that? Lusitania. Dude, what is wrong with you? I don't know how you pronounce that. What was you nuts? Which pulled the U.S. Into World War II. However, by making a deal with the devil, Cisco has his morals subverted by going along with Garrick's twisted evil plan. He gets what he wanted, but at what cost? The moral ubiquity works because these actions save the Alpha Quadrants. Garrick commits the crimes. With Cisco acquiescing to his deeds, Berman states the biggest challenge that Michael Piller and I had was trying to come up with ideas that would not break Gene Roddenberry's rules, where you didn't take them too seriously, that's for sure. With interstellar war being the main, such idealistic rules were bound to be bent, if not broken. P.S. The writers are idiots. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And hello
I
there.
love it. I love it when I make an accusation and then somebody looks inside of the text and they put the quote up where the writers admitting that, with the writers openly admitting that they're doing exactly what I accused them of. It's glorious. Thank you, Mark.
Indeed. Mega Reacts with a super chat. Hello, Mega Reacts. Welcome. Good to see you. And says, I can live with that, which of course was Cisco's, I believe, final words of the episode.
Yeah.
So that's fitting. And then I thank you. You're too kind. Appreciate it, Mega Reacts. And welcome. And it's good to have you. Oh, Mr. Angel's here.
Hey, Chef.
What's up, Chef? Wow. And did I say, did we shout out DJ Ronnie G?
We did.
We did. I want to make sure.
We did, boss. We sure did.
Sometimes I forget, you know me. All right, Chef. Good to see you. I hope you are well, my friend. Okay. And Fiona, thank you so much for that other membership gift you gave out. Appreciate that. So she gave out memberships. Let's see. To a few, I can't tell. Okay, so to a Ray Durazo and to, let's see, to Brandon the anime guy. Thank you so much. Thank you, Fiona. You're too kind. Mark, I'll send me this picture. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, nothing. There was a question in the chat from the Comic Relief Crusader about the nature of the storytelling, but it's gone past now. I can go back and grab it. Where is it here? The Comic Relief Crusader says, so as I didn't get this far, was it more like a heavy wears the crown kind of deal with Cisco for making hard decisions? I don't know if it was so much that as, I don't know. I sort of feel like this is a Garrick story. I don't know how everyone else feels about it. I don't think that this story works without Garrick and without Andy's performance. Andy is just unbelievable here, and I think really the twist at the end really makes it because it shows, you know, how things get done, and how it's ugly, and so it's very un-Star Trek, but it makes the point.
Max Redstone with a super chat that says, I can live with it. Thank you so much, Max. Appreciate that, buddy. So,
oh, my pleasure. Sorry, Comic Relief Crusader. I'm sorry that I let that slide by. I've been at a comic convention all day, starting very early in the morning, so I am quite tired.
Got it. No problem. So ready for our final episode of the evening?
We are, boss. Let's do this.
All right. So our final episode of the evening is I Did It Your Way.
Yeah. My Way, Your Way, Subway. His Way, everyone, is season 6, episode 20.
While you're doing that, I'm going to medicate. So
okay,
right
everybody watch my 6, please.
I'll be back before you're done.
Yeah. His Way is season 6, episode 20. If that doesn't line up on your streaming service, please know this is prod code 544. We all watched this for the very first time on April 20th, 1998. I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia, and I haven't pre-read it, so it might be rough going, especially because I really need to go to sleep right now. So let's do this. The Deep Space Nine crew enjoys a new holosuite program featuring the 1960s Las Vegas lounge singer named Vic Fontaine, who has been programmed with awareness that he is a hologram. Vic displays keen insights into the crew's relationships. He begins to comment on the relationship between Odo and Kira, but stops himself. While Kira travels to Bajor to meet with her ex-lover, Shakar, Odo visits Vic to inquire further. Vic observes that Odo clearly is in love with Kira, but is afraid to pursue her, whereas Kira likes him, but considers him only a friend. Friend zoned. That wasn't in there. Sorry, everyone. I'm getting silly. Vic claims that Odo's biggest obstacle is his reserved, aloof personality and suggests that he needs to have some fun. Odo has he has Odo perform on piano during one of Vic's shows, and then arranges a double date with a pair of holographic women. Odo begins to feel more relaxed in his day-to-day life. Later, Vic arranges an encounter with Lola. Yeah, Lola, a holographic singer made to look like Kira, but Odo is dissatisfied with her lack of Kira's personality. And knowing that he is only comfortable with her, he knows she's a hologram, becomes frustrated and leaves. Vic, determined to take matters into his own hands, invites Kira to dinner, supposedly on Odo's behalf. Vic then persuades Odo to come to the holosuite to see a new and improved Kira hologram. Odo and Kira share a romantic date and a dance at Vic's club, but when Vic reveals to Odo that his date is with the real Kira, not the hologram, Odo leaves, angered and embarrassed. The next day, Kira confronts Odo, insisting they need to discuss what happened over dinner, anywhere but the holosuite. Odo asks whether Shakar would object to that, believing she is still seeing him. But Kira tells him her trip was strictly business and that she isn't romantically involved with anyone. Odo sarcastically asks if they have dinner, whether she would also like a dance afterward and a kiss. Kira heatedly responds that she might. Oh my God. Odo declares, well, then who needs dinner? Why don't I just get it over with and kiss you right now? Kira replies, well, then why don't you? And Odo grabs her and kisses her passionately. Later, Odo stops by the holodeck to thank Vic for his help. I'm sorry. I'm tired, so I'm pretty giddy, but it's just so bad. Not only is the writing really, really bad on Wikipedia, but this episode, Captain, my captain, we're at the end of the night. Let's get this over quick. What did you think of His Way? It's so bad.
I'll tell you in a minute because I'm eating M&Ms right now. Sorry.
Don't eat M&Ms. I'm hungry.
I needed a recharge. This episode makes me sleepy. I did it my way or the highway. Tony Newman and Doug Phillips spiraling endlessly through the endless corridors of time. The time tunnel. Anything to wake me up. Wake me up. Wake me up. I love James. I love James Darren. I really do.
Yeah,
but nothing sends me to the land of nods faster than Odo and Kira romance shite. I'm sorry.
It's so bad.
I recognize that people love this stuff. God bless you.
Who loves this stuff?
I don't watch a science fiction show with this kind of crap, to be honest with you. Just me. I know I'm different. But oh my God. I remember turning it on because I've seen it once before. I've seen it a couple times. And I got your review, Michael. Don't worry, it'll get in there. I just, when I was watching it the other day, oh no, I got to sit through this one. Come on now. I just don't care. I mean, look, I'm guilty of liking some holodeck stuff sometimes that aren't popular with other people. You know, seeing Data messing around with Sherlock Holmes, I kind of like that. It's kind of funny for me. Okay,
And you enjoyed Minuet.
Well, who didn't? Who? Yeah, of course.
Right?
Odo and Kira thing.
It's so bad.
Even
And
if I
the
were a
kissing,
shipper.
the face swallowing at the end, how forced it is. It looks like somebody trying to put two Legos together that don't go together. Like Mega Blocks and Lego trying to be smushed together. It's the worst face swallowing, and they're like, and their mouths are fully open. It's like they it's like they're trying to indicate that others are not pod people. You cannot kiss like that. This isn't Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You don't just open your gaping mouth and then swallow someone's face or just press it up against someone. It's ridiculous. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Oh man, I love my boy James Darren. You know, look, he was in the time tunnel and he went into the future. See, that's why, you know, look, if he's really Tony Newman, or was he Doug Phillips? I think he was Tony. If he's really Tony Newman who got turned into a hologram in the future, then I would like it better. I don't know. I got nothing to say. I'm not even reviewing the episode. I'm just like, I stayed awake. What's the matter? What are you on about, Max Redstone? What happened, dude? He's pulling an eject lever.
I think he's tired.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought he was mad at us or something.
I'm so happy that that you were feeling better
Good night,
and
Max.
that you chose to spend the time where you were feeling better with us. That is so amazing to me. And thank you so much for joining us. You were great company as always. Please go
Always
and
good
rest.
to see you, buddy. Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, sweetheart. Thank you for the limericks and the great company. Good night, darling.
Yeah, I hope you're all right, dude. Hope you're feeling better. And thanks for the lyrics and stuff and everything. And I appreciate you, man. Good to see you, bud. If were you trying to get my attention to say anything, let me know. We'll watch for it. Okay. What were we talking about?
Just how bad this is. Just
what people
face
love it,
swallowing.
Face swallowing.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I can't even give it a review other than it did happen and it was filmed and they were doing stuff. I guess I think I'd rather see a crappy war episode than this. I don't know this is not as horrific, or I don't even think it's bad. I don't really care that much. I'm not that horrible first episode that we watched. I mean, that garbage darker than the whatever. That's horrific. This doesn't even, after stuff like that, you can't bug me or anything. With stuff like this, I just find it like to be a time waster. I don't really care. I'm not mad at it. Well, in a sense, because it could have done something interesting if it wouldn't hurt him, would it? But what do I know? So I don't know. Let's go with your notes.
Dick says that he knows that Dax and Worf are married because he is a student of the human heart. That's interesting because Worf is a Klingon and Dax is a Trill with a symbiont. There's no human there.
He did say that, didn't he?
Yeah, he does, because there's a lot of dumbness and a lot of weak writing. O'Brien's eye is wandering because of his wife leaving him. And she's left him. Keiko has left the building, so we got to do it. Oh, Miles! Kira and Odo are in love. And then I wrote in yelling all caps, barf. The love boat. Soon we'll be making another run. Anyway, just absolute trash. Odo learns how to girl by his third girlfriend. He's learning how to girl here. He's had a serious relationship with Troy, which didn't amount to anything, but they did get married because they had this beautiful intimacy and he wanted to protect her. Then, of course, he was bumping uglies and exchanging nodule, whatever you want to call it, with the spy lady. Then, of course, he was with the founder where he had to show her how human beings do it. And then they both did the golden puddle together on the bed. And now Kira. Okay, so like we've had like, so this is like third, technically third girlfriend plus a wife. And he's still learning how to girl. Why are we still treating Odo like Pinocchio? Anyways, he's clearly not. They keep saying that Odo is unemotional. Odo is always emotional. The writers are totally out of whack here. And not only is Odo really super emotional, he's angry a lot of the time. Also, I want to know, how did Vic transfer his matrix? How did that happen? How is he doing that?
Yeah, they said he's become a different kind of pro. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just weird. Anyway, so science fiction or writers finding an opportunity for more comedy and now a variety show. If anyone who has ever worked in the music business or television and film is aware, a lot of actors and actresses want to show that they can sing. So having Nana Visitor come out to show that she can be a lounge singer doesn't impress me. I'm annoyed because now I feel like I'm watching Carol Burnett. Fake Kira should be the main idea here if it were science fiction, the trap of technology. So our poor Odo having a broccoli moment. We needed him to have a broccoli moment, a pure nerd broccoli moment where he was transfixed by this technology. This is the only way that he is willing to engage with this type of intimacy, and it becomes a problem for her. Then this becomes science fiction. Instead, it's turned into a cute trick, and this is an obvious romantic comedy. From the beginning to the end, this is a romantic comedy. And then I put OMG, exclamation point, underline, underline, awkward face swallowing with zero chemistry. There's nothing like watching people swallowing each other's faces when they have no chemistry. It's like watching birds feed their young, or like fish being pulled out of water, just gasping for air. It's much like that. It's gnarly and not in a good way. For this, technology teaches romance. It needs to be a new technology, not one we're totally used to, and one that we know through many, many, many scripts and many, many episodes that Odo and Kira reject. So Odo and Kira are aware that they can, get their uglies bumped and rubbed in the hollow suites, and they choose not to. Okay, so they openly talk about how disgusting it is and how they don't want to do it. And now all of a sudden, Odo knows nothing about girls, even though he's had more types of sex than many species. And now he's in a hollow suite. So, I mean,
oh boy,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm just expecting Donald Sutherland to walk over with his mouth agape and just put it on Odo's mouth, and then they could have like a proper face swallowing exercise together. It'd be great.
Yepper. I don't have much to say. What is your rating of I did it my way of the highway?
I'm sorry, but this is so bad. And look at the poster that the boss did. Like, look at Odo's mouth. Like, that's how he was kissing Kira. It's a D.
Yeah, I went with a D. I couldn't go any lower than that for my boy Darren. D for Darren. I mean, he's my boy. But we got people that like these, and which is cool.
Yeah.
Now, everyone, let's go and get this taken care of. Please send us any ratings you may have of his way, and then whatever words you may have on the episode, please. And while we're doing that, Michael Binkham, I'll go ahead and use the review you sent me. start us off if you're okay with that. Is Michael Beacom still with us?
I think he is.
Uh,
I think he is. I have to go and fill up your folder, boss. I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Ooh. Just had a big wash. Okay, Clubby, is everything okay?
oh, sorry, everybody. I muted myself by accident. All right, because I had to cough. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Michael Beacom said about his way says A-. There is a laundry list of things wrong with this script. The fact that they got me to not care about them is a testament to the art of storytelling on display here. I am biased because I love Bobby Darin, but I do love Bobby Darin as well. I just want to say that. I love a lot of his music. I love his music. Anyway, so we're on the same page. Anyway, on that. Anyway, you cannot deny he is magical. I would never deny that, sir. Call me irresponsible. Anyway, sorry. Throw in undependable too. Stop it. All right. And that makes me. I'd rather listen to Bobby Darin's song than watch that episode. Oh, sorry. Okay. And they don't explain him. I was dreading a scene in Ops where Bashir or O'Brien explained Vic's behaviors. We didn't want that. We wanted the friend-zoned guy to win. Friend-zoned guy to win. There you go. And that's what we got. For once, touching on feelings was the right approach. I could identify with Odo's horror when he discovered she was the real Kira. And I believe it is Star Trek when it hints, that maybe not all AI would be evil. Sometimes science can be the tool of the good guys. Sorry to botch that up on you there, Michael. You know, I try to read too fast sometimes, brother. Sorry. Okay.
Princess Fiona would like to know how I know when you are eating and that this isn't the first time. What can I say? I spend like at least, I would say, between 8 and 10 hours a week with him. And he is like literally one of the best friends I've ever had. I spend so much time with him. I just really love him a lot. He's like my big brother, and I adore him. I don't know. I just know. What's worse is I can guess what he's eating. So like I know when it's popcorn and I know when it's chips and I know when it's M&Ms and when he's snapping a chocolate bar. I'm like, are you eating
They
chocolate?
have a sound, those when I should nothing more stuff I shouldn't be eating. Okay, here we go.
Whatever you want.
Sander gave it an F. Sander Hammerslag, thank you. He just says F. And if you want to elaborate later, you can. Princess Fiona said, "We left the dinner party early so we could catch the stream. Totally the right call, you guys. Oh my God, Fiona, you were too kind to say that, my dear. Thank you so much. A dinner party. I've never been to one of those, so I hope it was at least fun. I'm not. Maybe I have. I don't know. I've had dinner and I may have been to a party once. So does that count? But thank you so much for those wonderful words. You're too kind." Katie, our lovely Katie friend, says, I absolutely love this episode. 10 out of 10. So great to have James Darren play Vic and to add some levity to the show after the war. The costumes, old Vegas atmosphere, and wooing of Kira was very sweet. My only wish is that the writers had put Odo and Kira together sooner. Didn't they kind of do it sooner than leave it alone again? Remember they were like in a bathroom for like 3 hours talking? They could have been a great team starting in season 4 instead of having them take part in other relationships. Solid A for this one. From thank you, Katie. Appreciate you.
They were in Jadzia Dax's closet during her hen party or bachelorette party, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, absolutely.
The entire night.
Sander went down to a G-. Wow. Way to go, Sander.
Well, he was saying he's not a huge fan of holodeck episodes.
No, I understand. Oh, absolutely. Yep, can't blame me on that one, buddy. The Comic Relief Crusader says D-. Where's Captain Stubing when you need him? Another Kira Odo ep. Yawn. Love boat. Love boat. DS9 mesh. Ick. Get over it, Odo. Get a hobby. Yeah, man. I'm right there with you, dude. Right there with you there, dude. Mr. Angel says big fat F. Bloody hell, Odo. Stop simping over Kira, you bloody shifter. Get a saddle and a whip and let yourself be dominated the way you both secretly desire. So, SOS, eject, pull up, wave off, stop, please. All right, Mr. Angel. Chef, I'm sorry I gave you such a silly voice.
All you need to remember is Salome Yen's going as she sits up in bed when she's been with Odo. So that's how the solids do it.
Yuck.
Why are we
Thank
watching?
you.
Why am I watching this? Why? Why?
Yeah.
My eyes are bleeding. Why am I watching this?
Oh my goodness. The enigmatic drop bear says D-. In this one-note installment of DS9 Variety Hour, Odo takes lessons in je ne sais quoi from a hologram. Je ne sais quoi. Can I say? I just say je ne sais quoi. How do you say? I cannot even try. I enjoyed the musical numbers, but their quantity showed there wasn't much story here. Yeah, I like the music. I should say that. I'm a fan of that kind of music. I do enjoy it, but can't be everything. It doesn't need to be in Star Trek necessarily, but I like it. Where was Kira's agency in this episode? Almost all of it was told from Odo's perspective. The lopsided perspective did nothing to resolve this ridiculous, hard to endure Odo Kira love story. And DD for the knocking out of the park there. This episode is a complete waste of time and a further diminution. Of these once great characters. Such a shame.
Agreed.
Nailed it, sir. Nailed. Pleasant Valley Picker says a great episode. It's not deep but fun. A nice homage to crooners of the past. Fun atmosphere. Nice to see James Darren. I'm a big Kira Odo shipper and don't care what anyone thinks. Well, there you do you, baby cakes. You don't have to care what anyone thinks, brother. I'm in your camp with you. I'm with you to the end of the line. I'm right behind you. Was nice to see a holodeck character that was self-aware. I liked the old tunes. I thought the kiss was a great moment. An AI holodeck character as matchmaker made me laugh. All right, Pleasant Valley Picker. Thank you, buddy. Steven, but this I like, man. We get some rare ones from Kal-El lately. He doesn't do this very often, but he's done it twice tonight. F as in F this episode. Man, I like it. Okay, he's getting some spicy here. I didn't realize until this episode that there was something even less interesting than the Rom Lita, as well as the Worf Dax courtships until writers came up with this garbage. Wow, I love it. I'm sorry. I thought I signed up to watch Star Trek. DS9, not Star. DS90210. Boom! Kal-El for the win. I love it. Nice. These rom-com episodes have got to stop, as this is supposed to be a Star Trek series.
Right.
They think they forgot that they were Star Trek a long time ago, buddy, to be way before this, to be honest, buddy. But I hear you. Not the Love Boat. Stop saying that. It makes me sing it. I can't help it. You can't say the words of the Love Boat. You always go, the Love Boat.
It's so true.
Promises vomit for everyone. The Love Boat means you'll take something right up your butt. Oh, sorry. Or any other similar series. Sorry. The only reason why this episode didn't get an F- is because of the amazing performance by James Darren as Vic Fontaine He quickly became, he's a time traveler too, so in a good way because he's from the time tunnel. One of my favorite minor characters in the series, but even he couldn't save this episode due to its lackluster plot. Thank you so much, buddy. I hear you. I'm right there on that same page with you. Shooter. C-. It's Vic, a holographic character that is aware of what he is aware who was aware of what he is. Nothing new at this point, but Vic Fontaine is comfortable with his nature, not trying to be more than he is or escape, get revenge. Okay. Let's see if I get the next one there. Okay, gotcha, buddy. Let's see here. While this isn't as interesting as the Doctor who grows during the voyage back to Earth, it has a refreshing feel to it. An artificial being teaching a socially awkward man to confess his love. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it's a lot of soppy love story. The Kira Odo, will they, won't they? But I focus on the AI the AI that seemingly goes beyond its core function of entertainment to help the poor biologicals. Hang on. One glaring point of contention is that Odo is supposed to be an incredible observer of solids as used in his detective work, but cannot pick up on the cues Vic picks up on.
Yeah,
no.
I always love
No
Shooter's
shape change is
reviews.
perfect.
And when he starts pretending to play the piano, it's like Goofy. Do you know what I mean? It's like watching Goofy play the piano.
Yeah.
Why are we watching this?
Lisa says F. We didn't need this ep. We already know that Odo wants only Kira. The question has always been if militant Kira can want Odo.
Yeah.
The better story would have been from Kira's point of view. Great music. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Fiona says C-. The C is for cheese. Enough said. Enough said indeedishness.
Great review, Shooter.
Hungry Boy says rated O for how I loathe this. This is 800 abuses of Cyrano de Bergerac done badly. Bring on a metric tune of raspberries. Metric ton of raspberries. This is the Trek version of the Star Wars Christmas special. Whoa! Except that unlike this DS9 app, Bruce Valanche could have written this better, even in '78 with his powdered nose. Bruce Valanche. There's a reference. Good Lord. Oh my God. That's something, buddy. Wow. Simply Steve. F. Odo was so smitten with real Kira that the help of a holosuite fake Kira gives him confidence. Really? It's a filler episode. Dominion War gets another pause. Where did the sci-fi go? It went to B5. And even that's a war show, but has more science fiction than this does. Posen Valley Picker. Well, I thought it was fun. That's I already got your review, didn't I? Okay, then. The great Eric K says D. Only reason for that is I like the Vic Fontaine character. Other than that, puke, all kind of puke. A lot of puking going on. A lot of puking going on. And our wonderful communications specialist, Jill, chimes in and says, wait, what is the sigh for, PvP? What are you sighing for? I don't get it. You're not happy that we read your review and we're fair to you? I mean, I don't know. What do you want, man? Anyway. I'm just teasing you. Sigh if you must. I don't know what it's for. Sounds a little bit belligerent, but whatever. Anyway, A-, says Jill. This was simply a sweet, funny, lovely episode about a romance you either buy into or don't. As for me, I do. And what better way to foster it than with a semi-sentient hologram? Let's see. Kira and Odo might be one of the most interesting because their working relationship begins in the first episode, quickly evolving to mutual respect and friendship. Let's see. Usually, these are the best components for a romance, but this we're talking about. But this we're talking about the biology of a changeling being capable of loving like a human. That part's a little weird, but it's insisted, I believe. The telegraphing of this romance be well paced out, I think, and occurred organically with the true chemistry that Odo and Kira, rather than her other terrible romances of the week. Let's see here. Even though Kira already knew Odo's feelings from a previous episode, they had agreed to table the discussion, and this was a way to break through their original agreement to ignore them. Thank you so much, Jilly. Love you, Jill. Let's see. Mr. Angel says, Hungry Boy, yes, sorry, but the simping in this episode is beyond cringe. It has to be said. Okay, let's see. Sean Carter said C only because of Vic, without him F. I read you. Let's see here. Masters Maniac Mexico MMM. C, just for the fact that Odo and Kira finally kissed, and we can have high hopes to not see this again. Fair enough, sir. Yeah. Pleasant Valley Picker says, I should never have come tonight. I don't know why you say silly shit like that, dude, but that's your decision. I don't know what's wrong with you. Got to be honest with you, man. Everyone's having a good time here. All opinions are welcome. If you can't take opposing opinions, go get your diaper changed and take a bottle and, jump back in your sandbox. Or, I mean, if you're that much of a baby. I mean, if you can't take opposing opinions, half the people, this episode, we have people loving it, giving it A's, and other people's giving it F's. Grow up. Okay, Phantom Outsider. The only interesting part was non-visitor picked the song Fever because as a child, Doris Duke sang it to her and her mom. I pass by Duke Island park every day. Other than that, it's fine. Other than that, it's a meh, isn't there? It's a meh, isn't there? Hang on, find your other one. Oh yeah, isn't there a war going on? Isn't it odd that this is what they're up to? Sure, a lighthearted episode after the last one, but this is such a lightweight episode that there's nothing to it. D. Okay.
Hey everyone, I just
Welcome.
I just want to add Phantom's alluding to Nana Visitor's mom was best friends with Doris Duke, who was the richest woman in America when she died in 1993. I just read that in the companion, who was her father, the heir to American tobacco. So they founded Duke University. So she had some wealthy friends growing up. But hail to everyone. Fun night tonight. And glad to be here.
Wow, bye. Look, be passive aggressive, win stupid prizes. Okay, Wolfie says, rating D. Hey, it's me, Vic. I don't mean to be a D. Hey, it's me, Vic. I don't mean to be a D, but you need to face Hoover this bird. How many Italian stereotypes we got in this hollow pewter? We could put a band together. Thank you. There you go. And our last review by let's see here.
Some
weirdo.
Not too smart guy.
Mark D with a C says,
some dummy.
Says F. This is the worst piece of filthy trash I've ever seen. I hate it so much that I'm probably going to kill. If I see anyone who does like it, I'm going to go to their house and stop them from ever being able to see the grin, especially some guy with the initials PvP, because he is not allowed to dislike or like anything. Oh, I'm sorry. That was someone else wrote that. No. B. Okay. So this is a ridiculous holodeck adventure, but it does have some good moments. Darren is great as Fontaine. And who would use the holodeck for a date? I would. Rhetorical question. No, you put a question mark.
As long as they sprayed it off.
Of course. No, it's holodeck. They got that taken care of. Come to think of it, Why would you ever leave the holodeck? I just wish they would stop trying the ship characters, especially Odo and Kira, who have zero chemistry together. According to Visitor, I am not much of a fan of Odo and Kira being together, but they found a way to make it all make sense. Yeah, that's what Paycheck says that. I felt I have to open my mouth and pick my fights because their Paycheck told you to shut up, of course. And even though I know there's a certain amount of fights I'm going to lose, I always do it my way. I mean, I always do it anyway. Sorry. That was one I lost, DS9 companion. Thank you.
Yeah.
And everyone...
Dalek is here. Everyone say hello to Dalek.
Is Dalek here?
451.
Dalek's here? All right. Hey,
the
Dalek.
companion had like 20 pages on that episode, too. It was ridiculous.
I know.
Wow.
Do you see
the
why
book
I
is
won't
great,
read from
but
it?
I mean, the summary is like 4 pages, and they had like 20. They had a really nice thing on Darren Fontaine.
James Darren.
James Darren. I'm calling Darren Fontaine.
James Darren.
Yeah, that works too. But yeah, it's just way too much detail. But they're good details in there. But yeah, it's way too long.
Yeah.
Michael Bigham says, was it okay? So the kiss was not the greatest, but we don't know the full circumstances. Was it last take of the day, time round, or was it? I don't know.
They said it's actually in the
I don't
book.
know.
They said it was the first take. They ended up taking a bunch of takes, and they liked the first one. They thought it had the most chemistry.
Yeah.
Hey, Dalek. Well, good to see you, Dalek. I'm always nice to see you drop by, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Well, we got through 4 more, folks. Boy, that was rough. That was a rough.
What was the
one
average
tonight.
rating tonight from the professor and the captain?
I'll tell you.
0.05, I think, or like
I was
what?
F A plus D was me.
I went
Actually, F minus a bunch of minuses on that first one.
Mine is F A plus with a special note to the person who I love, Gene Roddenberry. So it's F A plus with a note for Roddenberry, and then a D.
So we had the same. Yeah.
So
We're the same
they didn't
tonight.
pass the course tonight. They didn't have to go back.
Nope.
They'd have to go to summer school, I think. Yeah.
They have to go to summer school for sure. I think they need to be dropped down a couple of grades, actually.
Yeah, it's.
That was
Look,
one
I
of
wanna
the most damaging episodes of all Star Trek, though. The Section 31. Oh, go. Sorry, go.
I just want to do something real quick. Look, hey, Gaelic Nordic girl. Hello there, Gaelic Nordic girl.
Hello.
Welcome to the chat there, and I know who you are, but you got a new name on us. But hello. Okay. For those who are wondering, look, we're a big family here. We have a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and we always all opinions are welcome. You should all know that by now. Well, PvP comes in here, and if you're still hearing this, dude, I don't know what you're whining about. You got to have your opinion. You got it read out. Some people agree with you, some people didn't, and you're complaining about it. If you're in here complaining that people disagree with you, it might not be the best spot for you because we all agree and disagree, but we're friends. Hell, we're family around here. We tease each other. We joke around. I'm not offended if you say an episode I like is a piece of garbage, or if I think one's a piece of trash and you think it's the best episode ever. It's fine. And if you can't take that, I can't do much for you. Really, Jesus Christ. I mean, it was baby stuff.
It's also really important to mention that this show is 100% organic. Clobby and I do not discuss the episodes beforehand. We don't do any type of watch parties or anything like that. And the thing is if you get involved with watching these episodes with other people and you build consensus, and that gives you a sense of community and a sense of love and acceptance. When you go into a room where no one has talked about it and they just give their honest opinions, you can sort of feel offended. And I'm just going to come right out and say that you don't have a right to be offended, because it's not as though, Mark and I and talk about it, or that Clobby and I talk about it, or we all sit around about what we're going to say. We don't even discuss it. Or about between 275 and 300 people come to this show, and they all come organically. There is no show prep here. People aren't discussing what they think, what they love, what they hate. So if you are doing that, if you're going off and you're building consensus and you're having this wonderful time, and you're hanging out with your friends, and you all decide what you're going to give it, and then you come here and you feel a little bit smug, or a little bit like you got your nose out of joint because somebody has said they don't like it, you have to realize what's happening. Here we're not trying to make sure we all have the same opinions. We're not consensus building. We're celebrating, we're pointing out the good stuff and the bad stuff, and we're doing it very honestly. There is no one here is verifying that they're going to say the same thing as someone else, or saying, yeah, I thought that too. Everything we do here happens live, and it should be respected, because the people in the chat, what they have to say is just as important as what the people on the panel have to say. And just like Captain Clobby just said, it is extremely varied. We can have an episode that gets an A+ all the way down to an F. Some people will even give it a G or a Z. That's not a reason to get offended. And it doesn't mean we don't like you anymore. That's very...
Well,
yeah.
No, go ahead. No, I appreciate that, but I didn't want to go into. I don't want to go so much more farther into it, because it should be. It's not that important. It should be established. But I'm glad you said that, and I just wanted it said because he was putting things into the chat. I'm like, was anybody? I mean, I can't see the chat all the time, mind you, everyone. So unless some of you were being really mean to him, he was talking to me and Raquel apparently. I guess unless you were all being so, because I know you're all such a bunch of big meanies, right? No, Edward, and again, that's
especially me. I'm probably the meanest guy.
We got the nicest chat here. Everyone's nice. Everyone knows PvP. Everyone's nice to them. There's no nicer chat out there, and they're all get along. And so I guess because there were people who, not liking an episode he liked or something. I just, if you can't take that, and I want to thank you for that super chat, Victor.
Hey, Vic.
He says, Victor Fontaine says, I've watched TOS through Int and the movies many times, but only superficially absorb the content. Going another layer, down in depth and analysis with Clobby and RM. And the chat is so awesome. Thank you for Saturday Night Star Trek. Thank you for being here, buddy. Thank you for being here. I can't thank you enough for that. You were too kind, my friend. And I love that. Because we're just here to have fun. And, man, all opinion. I don't know how we can make it any more clear how all opinions are welcome here, because there are times when a few of us just dog the crap out of an episode and giving it D's and F's, and then 2 or 3 people will give them an A, give it a completely different review, and we read them out no matter what. Everyone gets their say.
Yeah, it's
all good fun, and it's just thank you, Michael Bigum, appreciate that, and Eric K. Even says they all make fun of me we all make fun of Clobby's Wesley Shrine, but we still love him. Thank you. As long as you love me, that's all that matters. Yeah.
I like what Phantom Outsider here has said. He said the opinions expressed are about the episodes, not on people's opinions on the episodes. And that's really true. And I want to make it very clear that I think that it is incredibly sweet and kind and amazing to build consensus. That's what human beings do when they get together to talk about things. It's consensus building. But in this room, the room is so big that you can't build consensus. What you can do is you can talk about the episodes, and you can all laugh, and you can concede, and you could say, oh yeah, that's true too, but I loved this about it. And that's what it's all about. But coming here with a planned idea that you're going to get a planned response out of us is not a good idea. And in saying that, I'm not making fun of anyone or telling people what to do or making any judgments on them. What I'm saying is human beings by their very nature, and I'm telling you this as an academic who is a social scientist, humans by their very nature want to build consensus. There's nothing wrong about that. That's very sweet. But when you come here, you have to be open to the fact that this room is way too big for everyone to build consensus. It's not possible for 275 or 300 people to agree on everything each week. It's just not possible. That's best left for those intimate groups where you are consensus building and you decide that you love something together. And that's beautiful. But every sort of encounter has its own audience, and that's okay too.
Absolutely. And no, Dalek, there was no fight. Someone just didn't like the fact that people had some opinions on an episode that he liked that some of us didn't, and some did like. So there's no fight at all. I mean, he just made some.
I didn't see anything in the chat
remarks.
unless we missed something. Yep.
Yes, he said something about, kept saying remarks, side, all this stuff. And he said, maybe I shouldn't be here, shouldn't have come here tonight. Well, why? Why would you say that? No one was attacking anyone, unless you big meanies in the chat were being so mean to him. And I'm kidding.
No,
you weren't.
Everyone was being very kind, and nobody attacked him. Everyone was being the typical 735 clobberers that they are. They're pretty nice people.
He said PVV seemed to take offense about what others thought of their grade and comments on the episodes. I don't think anyone gave him any crap about his grade, did they?
Not that I saw.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully not. And I don't think so, but I didn't say anything. But sometimes the chat's flying by, so I think everyone normally treats everyone here with respect, and we joke. As you get to know everyone really well, you start to joke with people. This is especially when you're in a text and you're chatting, you don't have you're not seeing someone's expressions, or when they can tell that it's a joke. So a lot of times, you can write something and have it taken the wrong way, but we all pretty much know each other pretty well by now. And if we did see something where someone was picking on someone, or I don't think any of the mods here would stand for it. It's one thing to go back and forth, about opinions, which is fine, but as I get to, you get to know you guys, everyone knows that they're best friends. They, say things to them, and my friends, we call them I don't want to use bad language, but how it goes, and then you laugh it off, kind of thing. And then also, here we got a Comic Relief Crusader has a member chat. Thanks for this fun show.
Hey, Comic Relief Crusader, thank you for that.
The screen there. Yep.
Thank you for being here. By the way, Eric K's super chat says, as long as you all agree with me, we're fine. That's true. He means me as in myself. He wanted me to read it saying the word me, and of course that means me. Everyone here and that's not true, by the way. No, the only person here who's forced to agree with me is Mark D with the C. Everyone else,
my contract.
Everyone else has rights, but him.
And I want to also say thank you to everyone in the chat for the way you did behave tonight. It's very important for me to say the following. Yeah, it's very important for me to say the following out loud. We have a lot of people in this room, and the fact that you are all so polite and respectful of one another, given the fact that so many people are passionate about Star Trek, is really remarkable. But you all also have to understand that level of politeness with a bunch of strangers is very delicate. So if you come in and you charge through and you sort of start telling other people that they're not allowed to have their opinions because you would like to protect your own, you have to expect that you're going to get a little bit of pushback with this crowd. And not because this crowd is pushing back against your opinion, but because this crowd has manners. And that level of civility is what makes this show fun. So coming in and complaining that other people don't think like you isn't very nice, given the high level of decorum that people have come to expect from this chat. So I want to doff my cap to this amazing group of people who always bring their best game and their best manners to talk about the best television series on TV. So, well, that's a double negative. The best series on TV. You all know what I mean. Thank you so much.
Congrats, Michelle, by the way, to you. Heck, I was singing all the way through my episode and it was getting F's and D's. Some people liked it though. Vic, some people really liked the episode. It was like a lot of them here. They get some bad reviews and then some really good ones. And I know you're a fan of that episode, and you were singing like Bobby Darin, call me irresponsible, call me unpredictable, throw in undependable too. I didn't need to do that to him, sorry. Anyway, but hey, dude, the point is all opinions are welcome here. even Captain Infinity's, even though he likes Howard Chaykin, Captain Infinity and beyond. What's up, dude? So, and even Mark D with the C. And thank you again, Princess Fiona, for gifting those 5 memberships. I really appreciate that.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Gift to Victor Von Fane, Shooter. Let's see, Joseph Dredd, Nami. Hello there, Nami. If you're out there, good to see you. We got a lot of lurkers out there. Lovely to see you, Nami. And we always love our lurkers. If you're out there lurking, thank you so much. We really appreciate it, as well as anyone watching it on a rewatch or anything like that. So, again, we're gonna get Raquel out here. She's been at a con all day. She's tired,
and I have to go again tomorrow morning.
She's got to go in. Oh, we need to get you moving. So we're gonna run. He says, "Chaykin is my urban science fiction writing god." It's true, dude. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. We are sleeping. Chaykin shall be destroyed. All right. So, quick show notes. First of all, number 1. Any final words? We're gonna get you out of here quick. If you just do what you got to do, and then I'll do show notes when we're back. We'll do the shout out. So, any final words? Go for it.
I only have a handful of hours to sleep now, but I want you all to know that you are worth it. I love being in this room and having these conversations with how intelligent, polite, well-mannered, well-spoken you all are. I'm blown away by you. And now I'm sort of like delirious. My brain is turning to goo. But I'm going to let Clobby just run through all of the shout outs, and I'm not going to interrupt and do my typical sound effects. But it's just because I'm tired. I want you all to know how much I love you and how much I respect you, and how important I think this get together is. You guys are the best. You guys were the best company tonight. I adore you and appreciate all of you. Mark, thank you so much for being a great friend. I cannot wait to talk with you, about that walkie-talkie message. And Clobby, I love you with all my heart. Thank you for hosting tonight. We all love you very much. We appreciate this space to be able to come and talk about Star Trek. So thank you so much, boss. And now I'm going to be very quiet so that you can wrap this up really quickly. Good night, everyone. I love you all.
Oh, is Mike here?
Oh, sorry. I was handling something. Thank you all. Thank you, number 1. I want to thank you all so much. You've been all so fantastic tonight. I want to thank Michael Beacom for this super chat. He says, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. He says, thank you for reading my chats. Such consideration is appreciated. I didn't want to miss tonight, but had to go to an event planning session, doing a movie tribute to E.T. next week. Wow. All right. Fantastic, man. Great stuff, dude. Appreciate that. Yeah, look, you're all the best. You make it worthwhile, all of you, whether you are lurkers, whether you are, you're regulars in the chat, or you just watch it on a rewatch or something like that. I cannot thank you enough. Mark D, anything, closing words before I get us out of here?
Of course, great time tonight. Always so much fun in the chat and hanging out with everyone. So thank you, everyone, for making Saturday night special. Some clunkers of an episode, and Section 31. Wow, that was probably one of the most damaging episodes. But it's great discussion though on all the ramifications. And Sunday Night Geekery will happen. I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy. I loved it, so we'll be talking about that. I got my
cool.
My Rocket Raccoon popcorn.
You paid $50 for that sucker? Oh, almost.
Well, I went to use my points, and I'm like, oh, I could use them. And the missus is like, okay, well, if you use your points, you can get it. Because you get the popcorn is $20 my way anyway. Yeah, so we'll talk tomorrow. Yeah, Raquel's got to go, but I did get that, and I got my Zune working again. I pulled my Zune out of the basement. If you've seen the movie, there's a Zune in there. The Microsoft iPod, yeah. So
cool,
but it was fun.
Well,
yep.
We'll be talking about tomorrow on the Geekery, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll be over there talking on Mark's channel, the Sunday Night Geekery. So,
thank you. Yep.
All right, buddy. Well, let's see here. Quick show notes. In addition to, I'll be hanging out with Mark on the Geekery tomorrow night, as mentioned. A double feature on Monday Night Marksy Comics Talk, an early show with the Great J-Man at 6 p.m. We were going back to as we will be doing every second Monday of the month. Earth B, every B Monday. Earth Bob Haney for another the Wacky World of Bob Haney presentation, where we'll go drive you crazy, the craziest comic book writer ever with a review. J-Man and I, what a fun time we've been having doing that. And then, of course, at 9 p.m., I'll have a standard show, Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talks for show. Then I'll have all my other appearances throughout the week, which I'll tell you about later. I want to get out of here now. Of course, don't forget the 4 more episodes next week of DS9. Same Trek time, same Clubby channel. Now, it is time for our shout-outs. If you know, we shout out our wrenches, and then we shout out everybody really quickly. We're going to do it fast. But let's go ahead and get it done because we love you all. Our wrenches, of course, the great Eric K., the Bronze Wrencher, the Vindicator Wrench of the North, Chris Persia, D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron, Lord Thoth, shout out to Lady Thoth as well. Avon lives, long live the Legion. My partner in crime on Earth B, J-Man, the Wrench Without Fear, Hungry Boy, Master of the Glaboni, Kal-El, Super Wrench Supreme, Maddie's Daddy, Wheeler Wrench Mjolnir, and, of course, Fanty Outsider, and the great master of limericks, the music meister himself, Max Redstone. Apollonie's minion was here today, so we had the pupper pop in for an appearance. And let's see who else we have hanging out with us tonight to say goodbye to. Let's see. Gaelic Nordic Girl popped in, of course, as did Dalek 451. Good to see you, Dalek 451. Mr. Angel, the chef, was here. He had to run. They get the shout out whether they're here or not. And so, Mega Reacts, thank you. Michael Beacom and Cassandra Beacom, thank you both so much for being here with us tonight. Cinema Gulp. Katie, lovely Katie, great to see you. J.J. Kirk. Wolfie. Claude, Canadian Spidey was here. Claude Salling was here also. Let's see here. DJ Ronnie J. Cardinal Sin, thank you, buddy. Hojo. Princess Fiona, thank you so much. Princess Fiona, you are fantastic. A wonderful new friend. We hope we see you all the time here. Thank you so much. Let's see. Bush Pandoom, thank you. Keely Chow, roll that tide. Lawrence Kinski. Mark Lerseth. Victor Fontaine, so great to have you here, my friend. Thank you. Rancor Steve popped in. Rancor Steve, congratulations, hail. The Comic Relief Crusader, Sander Hammerslag, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Zathras, Jeff Morris, Joseph Dredd, I am the law, Lemon Pie, Captain Infinity and Beyond, Copa Catania, I hope I'm saying that right. So sorry I butchered that. And they called him Schoolboy Pete. And shout out to Leslie, SP4H, Captain James C. Skywalker, Dadman of the Dadman clan. Let's see here. Monsters Maniac Mexico MMM. Lisa, lovely Lisa. Matt G. Snail Messiah. Brian Hepburn. Len Rod. Enigmatic Drop Bear, my friend. Jay Picasso. Let's see here. Sean Carter. And I think, let's see here. Oh, Simply Steve was also here, and Shooter. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here with us tonight. I had a fantastic time. I hope you did as well. Have a marvelous Sunday or remainder of your weekend, and I hope to see you back here next week. And all throughout the week, please come hang out with us. Good night, everybody, and clobber on and trek on.
Clobber animal.
Oh, run.
I just love clobbering time.